Hi, good morning. All right, today let's talk to some other Black women house sitters. Let's talk to them and find out what house sitting has been like for them. Let's find out how long they've been house sitting, where they've been house sitting, what kinds of house sits they've been getting, and hear what the news is from them. So I don't have to be the only person telling you about house sitting. It's house sitter season. Spring break is a wonderful time for a new house sitter to get started because there are more house sits than there are sitters. So I'm going to bring Nyrell on and we're going to see if she can hear me. Monica was just here and I couldn't hear her. So I don't know how this is going to go. But first, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Stephanie Perry. I'm a house sitter. I'm the creator of House Sitter School, and I help Black women take a sabbatical, move abroad, bop around as a nomad, start house sitting, all while embracing ease. If these things sound good to you, please make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button, please, and turn on notifications. Ring the notification bell so that you'll be notified when I post a new video or when I go live. Welcome. Okay, welcome everybody in the chat. Okay, Monica's going to try again. Good morning, Alexis. Good morning, Rosemary. Good morning, Doris. Good morning. So if you have house sat and you're like, how do I get on this live stream? You have gotten from me an email if you have ever joined House Sitter School, or if you're part of the Patreon community, you got an email from me this morning with a link to join in on this live stream. Okay, so if you've ever house sat and you want to get in on this round robin video, jump in and give us your experiences with house sitting, go ahead and do that. Look, open up your email from Stephanie@vicarious.com. Look for an email from Stephanie@vicarious.com or from Patreon, right? If you can't find the Patreon community, if you can't find the Patreon email, but you're a member of the Patreon community, go over to patreon.com/vicarious and look at the post. The link is in there. Okay, let's get Nyrell on here and see how this goes. Good morning, Nyrell. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hello, hello. Happy
Hi.
Saturday.
Happy Saturday. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Where are you?
I am in Guadalajara, Mexico.
Guadalajara,
And
Big G.
yep, I am on my first house sit. I have two puppies, a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old, a Yorkie Terrier Poop and a York Terrier.
Oh, how cute. All right. I don't know if y'all could hear that. Nyrell is on her first house sit in Guadalajara with two dogs, a Yorkie Poo and a Yorkie Terrier. How adorable. When did you start this house sit?
I started this house sit on the 9th and I'm here till today. And then I have it again on the 13th to the 16th.
Good. Okay, wonderful. All right. And then is you said this is your very first house sit. How did you get this house sit, Nyrell?
Yes, so I got it through Trusted House Sitter. I did go through house sitter school. I originally started with in October. I had to get some feedback on my profile and things, and once I did, I literally got the next thing that I applied for.
Ah, okay, good. So you had your profile up for a little while before and weren't.
Yeah. So, two tips I would give. One, start where you are. If you're at home, you don't have to travel first. Take that advice. Start where you are. That was one thing that worked against me. So, when I was still in Chicago, I was working, and the schedules for the dogs were too demanding. It didn't work with my schedule. So, I wasn't able to get that first initial review. And then the second thing I noticed from the two interviews that I had, they did feel more comfortable with you being on the ground already the day that the sit starts, not flying in. So that was feedback that I got directly from home and pet owners.
Good. Okay, good. That's right. It's easier to trust that things will go right with somebody who's already in your city, right? Especially if they're brand new to house sitting. If they don't already have reviews that say, she got here on time, she's reliable, she did what she said, right? It's harder to trust a total stranger who's also in another city or another country, right?
Yeah.
Than it is to trust a total stranger who's right in your plate, right in your city, right in Chicago. Okay. So were you already in Mexico before you got this house sit?
Yes, so I'm here to take the TEFL training, and I came like 3 weeks earlier to get familiar with the land and, do some holistic things. And so I was already on the ground when she needed me to be here.
Okay, good. All right. And then did she do a little phone interview with you?
So I actually met her in person the day prior. We met
Oh,
up at a coffee shop. I met both of the pups, and then we did a walk to the apartment, and she showed me around the building, the unit. You know what was expected, where is everything located, restaurant, what do you call it, recommendations and different things like that. She gave me the whole tour.
that's nice. Is she American or Canadian or
She's a dual citizen, U.S. and Mexican.
U.S. and Mexico? Okay, good. Okay. All right. So I linked to your new to your YouTube channel here in the chat, and if you're watching the replay, hello friends in the future, I'll drop the link to Nyrell's YouTube channel in the description of this video as well. YouTube's YouTube's Nyrell's YouTube channel is called Becoming Nyrell. So have you talked about the TEFL training that you're doing? Have you talked about the
I mentioned it on a live. I've been trying to do lives on Fridays. I'm sorry, I'm closing the windows. A lot
we
of
know,
noise.
we know Mexico. We know loud. Okay.
I've spoken about it on my channel, and I asked anyone who has questions. I did make a community tab post. I will make a complete playlist so I can answer all your questions in one set of videos.
Okay.
So yes, I will be speaking about it.
Good. Okay. So if you don't know, friends, the TEFL is the Teaching English as a Foreign Language training. It's what you need to tutor people, or not tutor. It's what you need to teach English to non-English speakers. It's really helpful if you're considering teaching English in person. Some of the online platforms require it and some don't. So like Cambly, I think doesn't require it. Some do. But definitely, if you want to go to another country and get paid to teach people English, which you can do as a not as a native English speaker, then the TEFL training is that is the TEFL training. Okay, how long is your training?
The training is for 1 month, and then I pick the class that comes with a free vacation. So I'll get a free vacation for a week in Puerto Vallarta.
Oh, good. Okay, good. Still never been to Puerto Vallarta. All right. Okay, so you're doing the house sit. The dogs are small. What are your daily? How demanding is this every day?
So they go out 3 times a day. And she said about 20 minutes, but I've been trying to get familiar with the area. So we be out for like an hour, hour and a half,
Okay.
about 3 times a day. They get fed 3 times a day, two snacks, and a little playtime. One of them, he really messes with me. The other one, she just like, where the snacks at?
Yes.
And they sleep a lot, so it makes me feel like tired. I want to just lay down with them.
Maybe you need to. Maybe they're here to guide you. Let them lead you, Nyrell. Let them lead you.
Probably, probably.
So do you feel like the free accommodation, the free place to stay that you're getting is decent compensation for what you're doing?
Absolutely. So I actually have an apartment here, but I needed the reviews and I wanted to do it anyway because they were so cute.
Okay.
But yeah, I definitely think if it's worth it because for a week here in a SH hostel, I'm gonna keep it clean. I paid almost $100 for 1 week.
Okay.
So, given I would have paid for 4 weeks, it would have been about $400, which is about what I do pay for housing, about 460 a month. So, trusted housing is definitely paid off.
Okay, good. And now once you get this 5-star review, it'll be easier for you to get house sits wherever you want to go. Yeah,
Thank
in Guadalajara, I think I paid about $24 a day for a hostel for a not not crappy hostel. So we're talking about $168 for the week,
Yeah,
right? And so a Trusted House Sitters membership, one of them is less than that. I know, right? So
yeah.
one of
I
the
think it was like 150. I think.
I should know these numbers, but I don't. I'm going to go with around, we'll say around 150, and then the higher tier is around 250.
Yeah.
And so for that price, right, for that price, your Trusted House Sitters membership, you can get as many house sits as you can get in a year, right? A year of house sits for that amount of money. Okay, so I'm glad that it's worth it for you, even though you already have an apartment in town. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And you like the dogs. One of them likes you. The other one is just like, give me food. That's how it always goes with two. When you have two, that's how it always goes.
Yes.
And were you into dogs before? Did you have pets?
Yeah, so I grew up with pets, But in my adult life, I used to get my fix by going to the shelter before the pandemic.
Uh,
But a lot of them like closed because in my apartment, I was there for like 7 years. You couldn't have a
okay. Okay.
yeah.
All right. So had pet experience, was already in Mexico. These are things that made it easier for you to get this Guadalajara house sit. And, um, you're just awesome. You're nice, smiley
You're
person.
awesome.
Tracy says, I met Nyrell. Let me find the comment. Tracy said, I met Nyrell in Guadalajara too.
Hey,
And really
Tracy.
enjoy her energy. Yeah, right. It helps. It helps to be a nice person.
It's easy to be a nice person. It takes works to be a crap person.
Doesn't it? Doesn't it? Where are you out? Where are you out? Yeah. So, anything that you think we need to talk about house sitting before we move to Monica?
I think I gave my two tips.
Okay.
One good tip that I did take away from you, I didn't hear you mention it a lot, but I remember writing a note. I'm going to leave a thank you card, just so something for she could remember me by.
Mhm. Yes. Yeah, I have some little inexpensive, a pack of inexpensive cards. I just write a little thank you note. And if I really, really, really love that house and those pets and those people, I say, listen, I'm your house sitter now. Okay. Let me know first, right? Let me know when you're putting a house. I'm your house sitter now. Other times I just say it was a pleasure. Thank you so, or, thank you so much. They were wonderful. Blah, blah, blah. Welcome home.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. All right. Okay. Thank you so much for popping in, Nyrell, and letting people know that house
Nowhere.
is a real thing and it is legit, and that you can do it and survive it.
It is. I'll see you in the comments.
Okay. Bye. Thank you. Okay, friends, we're doing a pop in. Now let's get Monica here. Let's see. I know how to do this. There we go. Okay, we're gonna get Monica in. Hi, Monica Adelina. Hello, friend. Hi. I still can't hear you, girl. I still can't hear you. I don't know what it is. You can hear me. I can't hear you. You have to. So Ecamm Live, you have to give Ecamm Live permission to use your devices. So I'm going to drop you out of the room again. Let's see. Do you see an unmute? I didn't. And now it's saying I muted you. I just hit something that says I muted you. Let me see if I'm going to drop you out again, and we'll bring on Deborah, and we'll see if you can find a thing on your device that says um, allow permission or something like that. Okay? All right. See you in a few. Here we go, Deborah.
Hi,
Hello, Deborah. How are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can see you. You look good. Nice
Oh,
to
okay.
see you. It's been a
Yeah,
while
I'm
since
on a house sit right now. So, as a matter of fact, I just got done doing my live video on my YouTube channel, and I saw your message, and it's
uh,
like, oh, okay, I'll jump
I didn't.
on.
I didn't know. I knew Nyrell was house sitting right now. I didn't know you were house sitting right now. Where are you? Tell us about it.
Yeah, I'm in North Georgia area. It's about an hour and a half north of Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
Um, I I have it's a 1 week sit. I have a sabbatical coming up in Australia, so I wanted to kind of get here to kind of get my mind clear and get what I need. Because it's easy when you're at home to take things for granted. Everything is, handy. But here, it's like, okay, as I'm looking for something, I'm writing it down. Okay. Yeah, because I'm going to be, yeah, I have right now I'm on 5 month sabbatical in Australia doing house sits, and I'm looking for a one more to add, uh, but some of the places that I've applied to, they're kind of laid back, so they haven't responded yet. So
What an amazing update. Okay. And so I want to talk about Australia and then we'll come back and talk about Georgia. So, this Australia sabbatical that you're taking, you're going to
mhm.
Australia 4 or 5 months and you want to occupy the full 5 months with house sits. Is that right?
Yes, I have right now. I think I have 8 booked. I do have a couple of Airbnbs so far on my schedule. I have one is a um, what's it called? It's like a sanctuary or something like that in one of the areas.
Okay.
So I'm gonna change my reservation and be there for in between houses. I think I have like 6 days.
Okay.
in between from in the Brisbane area, and from there I'll be heading down to Melbourne.
Uh-huh.
Um, so most of my I have eight so far are trusted house sitter, and then there is one. There's a few in Australia that I signed up for, and one of the house sits in one of the gaps
Okay.
is off of the other site.
Okay.
But
From
I
my,
like trusted house sitter better because of the insurance
that's right.
that it does. Yeah.
That's right. The other site is Mind My House. Is that the other one? Or House Care?
No, this is called Aussie house sitters.
I don't know that one. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. So yeah, so there are country specific house sitting sites. So if
Hmm.
you know that you want to spend a lot of time, friends, in one specific country house sitting, it might be worth it to get both a trusted house sitters membership and a membership in the other site. But maybe not, right? I would start like
Yeah.
Deborah, I would start on trusted house sitters. And if you can fill up your
Hmm.
time with just trusted house sitters because they're international, I would do that, right? I'm gonna do the easy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It did. Yeah. It wasn't that much, and I did have a couple of interviews, but they were, a lot of them were finding relatives and stuff. And sometimes you get that on trusted house sitter, but on
Uh,
this particular site, a lot of them were getting other. But what I did was when they turned me down, I asked them, did they use this? What did they use to get their house sitter?
oh, good question.
And so then that's what I found out about mind a home. Is that what it's called?
I think it's
Mind a home.
my house. I don't
Yeah,
quote me. I think it's Mind My House. Hmm.
yeah. That was one that one of the sitters did tell me. The other one was, yeah, I found it on this site, and but their process is a little bit different than trusted house sitter.
Okay.
Um, but it was, but I'm looking forward to that.
What months
And
are
that
there?
was a self. That's been a lot of work.
Yeah,
Let's say
yeah.
that.
What months are you going to be in Australia?
I'll be leaving on this month on the 20th. And they're 16 hours ahead, so I'll get there on the 22nd, which is the day before I actually start. Um, Now, what I have been doing is sending the homeowners, asking them the question: What time are they leaving? Can I get there a day early?
Hmm.
Can I stay after? Depending on what time they come back and stuff like that. So that has helped me cut down on having to pay for accommodations, um, and that helps a lot.
Good.
So, but yeah, no, but hold
So,
on,
so
I hear.
you're going to be in Australia April, May, June, July, August, basically. So like kind of their
Hmm.
time, which is a wonderful time to go to Australia because they're traveling away they're going to Bali. That's when they like to go to Bali and travel to
Yeah,
some
yeah.
other.
I didn't know what to expect for the season. So they say that's their winter time.
Yeah, but
Um,
winter. It's just
y-
mm, yeah.
yeah, yeah. One of my first ones said, "Man, it gets cold here," and I was like, "Cold as in, what do you mean? How cold does it get?" And she said it's about 40 degrees. She said it might get down to about 40 degrees. I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, at
I'm
night.
originally from Michigan. Cold is
No,
negative.
no, you're staying above freezing, and even
Yeah,
that's probably in the Brisbane area as you go further south. I don't know. I can't remember.
it gets colder
I've been to
as you go
Brisbane.
further south. But
Yeah,
I'm going to start in New just north of Sydney because my flight in and out is out of Sydney,
good,
and yeah, so I'll be in the northern part of New South Wales and then going up to Brisbane.
good.
Um, I was trying to get something in Perth, but they did people didn't respond.
You don't need it. You're not
And
missing anything.
oh, okay.
You're not
Oh,
missing anything. All
oh
right.
wow. Yeah,
Perth is
yeah.
a good wine. If you want to do some wine tours and stuff, Perth is the wine. The wine region is close to Perth. Other
Oh, okay.
than
I'm not. Yeah.
that, okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's talk about the house that you're on now.
Oh, okay.
Who
Um,
taken care of?
Maddie, I think she got tired of being on camera earlier. She disappeared. But yeah, she's mm, let me walk in there
You don't have to.
with
You don't
you.
have to. Is she a
The right
counter at
call.
all? It's okay, Deborah.
Oh, okay, okay.
You don't have to.
Uh, yeah, she's a 4-year old, very food motivated. She has toys, and I had to call the owner and ask did she have to because she didn't want to play with anything. Only thing she wants to play with are she got these little they have these little gadgets that they put treats in
Yeah.
and throw it. That she kind of does a fetch and then dig out the food. That's the only thing she plays with.
Is she a big
And
dog
it's
or a little dog?
she's a medium sized dog, probably a lab. I'm trying to think what mix she's probably a combination of a lab and a collie.
Okay.
She probably weighs about maybe 30.
Oh,
I
okay.
would say 30 to 35 pounds.
Okay, that's a good medium. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
And did you
yeah. So,
have you had experience with dogs before? Are you a person who's
oh
always
yeah,
loved
we
dogs?
grew up with dogs. Yeah, we
Okay.
grew up with mainly German shepherds, collies. Had a bulldog. We grew up with with dogs mainly. Every now and then we would get a cat, but yeah,
Okay.
yeah, a lot of dogs. I say they have been my emotional.
Hmm.
Um, they've turned out to be emotional animals for me
Yeah.
growing up. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I enjoy dogs. But where I live with my sister, and the environment there is not conducive to
Okay.
having dogs.
Okay.
Yeah, the terrain we could it's hard to get a fence
Uh,
up where we at. So yeah, I come out um, for solitude and to meet with the dogs for
yeah.
mainly dogs. But actually, this is only my second dog sit. Now that I think about it, the others have been cats.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. Sometimes I can't read and talk at the same time. So let's talk about. So you're in Georgia because
Mhm.
you already live in Georgia. So you just drove to this sit, or is this a sit that took you some effort to get to?
No, I just drove.
Good.
Yeah, yeah, I just drove too.
Good. And what about that house sit made you want to go ahead and apply for it?
Because I needed some quiet.
Okay.
I I love my sister, but she likes to talk. I needed I needed you know the main thing is I really needed to isolate so I can focus because Australia's solo,
Yeah.
so I need to focus on what am I going to need while I'm there, and I also have some other stuff. I'm trying to set up a website.
Okay.
Um, I have a book. Oh gosh, there's so much going on.
You do have a
I
lot.
um I have a book where it was a collaboration with Kim Coles, her publishing company,
Wonderful.
and so the book has become a bestseller. Um, we just got notice that the shipping is going to be on Monday, and I don't know what books. I was trying to, we're trying to get the marketing going. I'm trying to do my website.
Mhm.
Um, I'm debating on how long the book is going to. Hopefully, the book will get here before I leave.
Oh, good.
Uh,
Okay.
but yeah, the physical books are coming. I possibly, hopefully, I'm going to try to contact some places to do a book signing. I have a lot going on, so
Yeah.
I needed to get isolated so I can focus. Okay, this goes over here, that goes over there. Um, lay out my thing for Australia between transportation, accommodations, calling, moving stuff around,
Yeah.
car rental. It's yeah, I got a lot going on.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So it's good to, so I like this idea of take a retreat before your sabbatical, right? You need to get yourself
Hmm.
together. Take some time before you take some big time, right? Take some time, and house sitting will
Yes.
that works in that schedule for you. That's amazing. So your book is called, tell us about your book, and
It's
yeah.
Wisdom Gifts.
Yes.
It's part of. She had two other books in that. I think Gifts was the acronym.
Okay.
Gratitude, forgiveness. I'm trying to think what the I mean. Inspiration, triumph, um, self love.
Good.
Um, but yeah, so this was the third book in that series. And I actually started with her uh, just before I got on with you. When I looked up and saw you,
Yeah.
yeah, I got in her book writing, um, writing a chapter. That's something I've been wanting to,
Yeah.
get out for a long time. So I
And
went ahead and we got the opportunity with her.
and so if we want to find information out about your book, we should go to your YouTube channel.
Um, I haven't. I'm working on that now. Hmm, that's a
Well,
good question.
it'll be there soon. Information about your book will
Yeah,
be on your channel soon.
yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it should be. I meet with the guy. I meet with her. Her significant other does the other part, the
Okay.
showing us how to hook up.
Yeah.
He's the techie guy,
Yeah.
so he shows how to hook up. So I'll have that. Yeah, it'll be coming soon. Yes.
Good. Okay, so Deborah's YouTube channel is called Radical Health Series. Radical Health Series. I've linked to it
Yeah.
here, and of course, I'll link to it in the description of the video when we're done. Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
so anything that we need to know about house sitting that we didn't cover,
Mm, Get in, get
do.
in. That's all I can tell people is get. You can start as fast or as slow as you want. For me, one house sit pays for the year.
That's
I
right.
mean, and I got the premium membership. I started with did start local with a few days to get that first one. She has called me back. She's not on the platform anymore, but she did call me back um, for her sit. I've been to Virginia. I've been to Seattle, Washington. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, really, one sit will pay for accommodations. If you like pets, and I do, certain kind of pets, not a certain.
Certain.
I don't. Yeah, I
That's
don't like birds, and I don't do horses. So
me same. Same. Yes.
yeah, or reptiles. Yeah, I haven't seen those, but I'm sure they're on there. Everything else is on there. So, but yeah, and then some of the stuff like if you I haven't done chickens before,
Hmm.
but if I think they're pretty simple from people that I've known that has chickens, so I'm willing to do that. But yeah, I've I've always been adventurous. I've been traveling, local for gosh, a very long time before house sitting. But yeah, it's great. I love it.
I love to see you doing it. Thank you so much for always for sharing. You always keep us posted about where your house sitting. So thank you for doing that. Except for this one. This one was a sneak a sneak attack. But thank you for keeping us posted.
I didn't. Yeah, this was kind of a last minute.
Okay.
It was like, okay, I need to get somewhere and get my head clear. I need to find somewhere. I need to be by myself in a new environment and just, you know,
That's right.
pour out. So I've been able to get quite a bit of stuff done.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, so it's from all of us, congratulations. Congratulations on your new book launch. Congratulations on this sabbatical that is going to be amazing in Australia. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for putting in the effort that it takes to plan something like that. It's difficult, right? To plan.
It
There's a lot
is.
of moving pieces. So I'm so glad
Yes.
that you have taken the time and the effort to do this for yourself. And if you will
Yes.
share it on your YouTube channel, I've linked to your YouTube channel so that we will know how to follow along. If you're going to be sharing your book journey, your Australia sabbatical experience on your channel, we'll be there. We'll see it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I have a lot going on. But all positive, all toward the healing, toward my own healing and self love. And thank you for having this platform, for having the courage to do this. I'll put it like that. For having the courage to do this platform because this a lot of stuff that you talk about is okay. I thought of that. I thought of that, but I didn't have the wherewithal, the mental organizational skills to do that. The confidence to do it. But yes, thank you very much for this. I
You're so
appreciate
welcome.
it.
You're so welcome. So welcome. So nice to see you again. I know I won't get to see you in Morocco because you'll be in Australia, but so nice to see you again. Thank you very much
Yeah.
for
Okay.
popping in and sharing your information with us.
All right. We'll do. Y'all have fun. Y'all gonna have fun in Morocco, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Africa is nice. It's very nice.
We will. We will. Have a wonderful day. Thanks, Deborah.
All right, you too. Thank you.
Bye. Monica, let's try this one more again, okay? Hi, Monica.
Yes. Hi, good morning. Now, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. How's everything?
Very good. Very good.
Hold on, let me explain to ladies who are here how to get on the live stream if they want. If you have done a house sit, if you have done a house sit and you want to be a guest on this live stream just to share a little bit with us, 5 minutes, okay? 5 minutes only. Then I have emailed the link to join this live stream to everyone who is a patron on Patreon, right? So you should have an email from this morning from Patreon. And I've emailed it to everyone who has gone through House Sitter School. So you should have an email from Stephanie@vicarious.com in your inbox, or an email from Patreon in your inbox with the link to join this live stream. You can get on. We'll be here for another hour or so, and you can talk for just about 5 minutes about house sitting. All right? So that's how you find it. Okay, Monica, what's up? Tell us, where are you, and tell us about house.
Well, since starting house sitting, things have happened. So I'm now a permanent resident for in Mexico, and I reside in Mazatlan, and it's gone wonderfully. My first house sit was from a woman who reached out to me. I didn't even reach out to her.
Oh,
She saw my profile, contacted me, we met up, and this was during Christmas vacation about 2 years ago. She had one cat, and I have to say that most of my little animal clients have been special ed clients,
oh, really?
dogs and cats. Yes. My first one was a cat, and really had problems with being without his owner. So it was a lot of time as far as making sure that I was there to give him slowly but surely giving him an okay to be okay. But it
Okay.
was a wonderful house sit. Very good. One cat. That was my first one. And it was from a woman named Queen who reached out to me and asked me
Oh,
if I would be interested.
yeah. Queen has hooked me up with a couple, at least a couple of house sits also. Queen Michelle, right?
Now, is it the Queen in Georgia? Was
Yeah,
that the Queen
Michelle,
in Georgia?
who lives in Georgia, but she used to be in Lake Chapala, Mexico.
Ah,
Is that her?
okay. So this one has never been to Mexico yet.
Oh, okay.
And
Oh,
but she is planning to move here next year.
oh, okay. Two different queens on the hookup.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's funny. Okay.
So that was a house sit, and all of my house sits have been in the US so far. Since coming to Mexico and my mother being ill, I've taken on those that are close in the US and close to where she is.
Okay. Okay. How's your mom doing?
Uh, she's better now, but every time she has an occurrence of an illness, she's weaker than she was before.
Oh,
But she's better now.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So when was your last house sit?
My last house sit was Thanksgiving, and
Ah,
that was in Murrieta, California. Yeah. And that one was one dog who had a react. The specialness about this particular beautiful husky was being reactive. And so I applied for it. They wanted to talk to me, and I said, okay, I'd like to see you and the dog before I actually come. So they agreed to that, and it ended up being an overnight sit. So that was my preview for them, for me, and for their precious, beautiful husky to see if we'd be okay. Because it had to be, uh, she had to be dealt in a specific way, and it went wonderfully. So from that, the next day they came back, we evaluated, we were fine, and then I house it all through Thanksgiving holiday for about 7 days that month in November of this past year.
wonderful. All right. So what do we need to know about house sitting that we haven't covered today? or anytime?
One thing was the idea of making, if the cat or dog, for me, if they have special needs, make sure you know about them.
Okay.
And if by chance you can meet up, if it's a local situation, that always is great. It just happens to be a wonderful thing.
Okay.
House sitting has also indicated to me that there are certain kind of dogs that I won't take anymore. And those would be the big ones that need walking morning and night,
Mm-hmm.
and especially if they're large dogs.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're large dogs and their owners don't walk them, they have a big yard. For instance, there was one house sit. I asked them if they would be willing to get in trusted house sitters. They looked at I guess, whatever questions or things they needed to answer to. They
Mm-hmm.
decided they didn't want to do that. So they hired me privately.
Okay.
So I was with their two dogs and two cats for a month and made a nice salary for that.
How did you meet these people?
Now, I met them through a Bible organization that I'm a part of.
Mm-hmm.
So we already knew each other.
Okay.
Um, and they asked me, would you rather sit for us privately, or would you like for us to look at trusted house sitters? And of course, I wanted the trusted house sitters initially because that would add to my recommendations. But after they looked it over, they said, no, we'd like to hire you privately. And
Okay.
so that's what we did. And it was wonderful. And that was, when was that? Thanksgiving. That was, I'll say, within the past 5 months, 4 months.
Okay.
I've been doing so much traveling, I don't remember, but it's been recently.
Can you tell us if they paid you more or less than $30 a day?
I can give you the number. It was $750 for the month.
Good. Okay, wonderful. Okay.
And it was a beautiful set with a swimming pool, which I loved.
Yeah.
Uh, it was still in close to where my mom was. And so it just worked out really nicely. I could still see family, I could still visit friends, and yet I had a real comfortable place to be and be low key and quiet and rest too.
Yes, yes, my favorite things. Good. Yeah, so I saw a couple of questions in the chat about what about paid house sits? Because all house sits through trusted house sitters, house carers, Mind My House, these are unpaid, right? You're getting free accommodation. You're not getting paid to house sit.
Exactly.
But if you book your own
Mm-mm.
clients, you charge, right? Some people who are used to paying a pet sitter already have a rate, but some don't, and then you guys negotiate. You decide what your fee is going to be for that day, and you go for it. I like to say, I like to figure out what food is going to cost, and since my accommodation is already covered, if they're going to pay me, I at least want to be covered. I want to be covered with food, right? So I try to figure out what food's going to cost me for that period of time. So that's wonderful. And that probably covered food for you for that period of time.
I actually didn't even have to pay for food.
Well, why
They
not?
asked me what I wanted, what I liked, and pretty much they had it. It was really neat. I mean, it was great.
That is great. Stay
All
in
my
touch with
needs
them.
were met.
Stay in touch with them.
I also had the use of, I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I just said stay in touch with them, right? Let them know I'm your house sitter now. Next
Oh,
time,
yeah.
call me first. That's right.
Yes, we are very much still in contact. I even had the use of their car
Hmm.
during the whole time that I was there. And that was a plus.
Good.
So it was really good. It was based, of course, on a friendship that we already had. But and the Queen one, that was based on, don't be surprised if people see your profile and they contact you.
Hmm.
I hadn't heard that covered before when we discussed house sitting. Um, and I was surprised. But she went hunting for who she wanted.
That's right. That's right. I've had that happen to me. Well, most of the time it happens, I'm not available anymore. But my very first house sit, she reached out to me. I had my profile up and all of that, but I didn't apply for house sits. I was just afraid to apply for house
Mhm.
sits. I didn't know anybody who was a house. So she reached out to me. We were in the same city, and she was like, "I'm going to Disney World with my parents and my niece and nephew, and right, can you come and cat sit for me?" So yeah, people, if you get your profile set up and you put make your locations correct. My problem is that I don't update my locations when I country to country. But if you update your locations, sometimes people will reach out to you to house sit for them because they see they can search by who's local, right? Who's local and
Yes.
who looks
Yes.
like a nice person who I would want in my home while I'm gone. Yeah. Good. Okay.
For sure, for sure.
Thanks so much for stopping in, Monica, and for updating us on house sitting and for giving us that important piece that haven't talked about too much. Two different important pieces
Yes.
about the knowing the cat's special needs, right, or the pet's special needs, which most people are good at putting in the profile, but some people may forget when they're new. And about people can reach out to you if you keep your profile updated and your location updated and your availability updated. People can reach out to you to sit for them. And the third thing,
And
that you can get paid house sits. Did some
yes.
marketing. You can get paid house sits. You tell people that you know that you're a pet sitter, and they will pay you to pet sit. Yeah.
Can I add one thing? I
Sure.
was asked by another woman and her daughter to house sit for one dog for a week. And because that dog had special needs, I asked to be interviewed with them and the dog and see if it would work.
Okay.
So we encountered each other for about 3 days, and it wasn't going to work. And
Okay.
I let them know, and they agreed, and but they paid me for my time.
What do you mean? Paid you for what time?
Well, I came 3 different days for about an hour to 2 hours each
Oh.
time to be in their environment, to be in the home, to uh, do little things to warm up to their pet. And
Oh.
it too was a dog that they had gotten from the shelter.
Oh.
And it was obvious that he was not going to warm up to me
Okay.
within that week and a half before they would have to leave. So they were gracious enough to say, "You've given us your time. We would like to compensate you for that."
Okay. Very good. All right. Very good. All right. Thanks a lot, Monica.
You're
Nice to
very welcome.
see you later.
Bye.
Bye. All right. All right. So Shaughnessy is saying that she's also had house sitting clients who would rather pay her directly than pay trusted house sitters. Okay. So I've done paid house sits off of trusted house sitters. I've done them. I had regular clients before COVID. I had regular clients off the platform. I'll say this, insurance protections are wonderful. Just be aware that you're taking everything into your own hands when you're house sitting on your own, right? So you burn down their kitchen, right? You're the one who's liable. You run over the pet with their car, you're the one who's liable. So I love a good paid house sit, but I hardly do them. I hardly pursue them is what I'll say. I hardly pursue them. Sometimes people will approach me about a paid house sit. I hardly pursue them myself because the insurance protections that I get through trusted house sitters give me the peace of mind to be um, to have peace of mind. Give me that peace of mind. Okay. All right. All right. Let's get Donna in here. Oh no, what happened? Donna, come back. I just hit the button. I may have hit the wrong button. Come back, Donna. Okay. So, how do I start? Hi, the favored fabulous one. Here's how you get started house sitting. You get a membership with a platform called Trusted House Sitters, and you fill out your profile and you apply for house sits. I have a toolkit called the New House Sitter Toolkit. Hi, Donna. Just give me 1 second. Good morning. I have a new house sitter toolkit called at housesit.vicarious.com/toolkit
Working
that I will link in a second if I can get my stuff
very
myself.
well. I can't hear
You can hear
you.
me? Let's see. I can hear you, Donna. You can't hear me? She just muted herself. Okay, so I'm gonna also give you the link to my new house sitter toolkit. If my new house sitter toolkit has some extra tools that I use to house sit. It has my affiliate link to Trusted House Sitters. So if you join Trusted House Sitters using my affiliate link, you don't get charged any extra. I get a commission. So thanks for that. So there's that, and then you also get the letter that I use to get booked, the actual email template that I use to get booked, or at least get the call from people that says, let's have a conversation about you house sitting for me. So how you get started is you get my new house sitter toolkit at housesit.vicarious.com/toolkit. Then you use my link and you get your Trusted House Sitters membership, and you fill out your membership entirely. Your profile. If you are struggling with your profile and you need a little help, a little extra support to get your profile set up and going, then I have a class, a master class called House Sitter School. So in the new House Sitter Toolkit, you'll see information also about joining House Sitter School if you want a little extra support to get started, extra support to get that first house sit so that that membership fee doesn't go to waste. All right. Let's see, Donna. Let's try. I'm going to unmute you and we'll see. Let's see. Can I unmute you? I can't unmute you. Donna, can you hear me? Oh, nope. Okay. We'll try it again, Donna. All right. Hey, Teri. Hi,
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Oh, wait, I got to turn you off on my other device.
Okay.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Stephanie. Hi, I am so pleased to see you again. Well, actually, I see you all week long because I watch videos all week long. You and the rest of your community have started a revolt,
That was the plan.
and
Yes.
I'm with it. And I am with it.
Good. I'm glad. That was the plan. I'm glad you're one of us. Thank you. Thank you so
Oh, yes,
much.
ma'am, wholeheartedly.
Good, good. So let's talk about house sitting. Have you house sat?
Yes. I have, thanks to you. I stumbled across one of your videos during COVID 2 years ago,
Okay.
and I signed up for the classes with you, and I had a one-on-one with you. I started house sitting that same week. No, I'm sorry, not that same week, but that same, it was about a month later.
Wow, good.
It wasn't very long at all. We had a great house sit. My first house sit, I live in North Carolina, right on the edge of the coast. And my first house sit was all the way in Seattle. I
Ooh,
just went for it.
you did. Look at you.
I went for it. Yes, it was a beautiful family there that allowed me to come in. They chose my, I put in the center letter, the pitch letter,
Yes.
uh, changed it up so that it used the exact letter, just tweaked it a little bit.
Good.
And I was able to get their attention. They decided, we met up. We did I think we did a Zoom, some type of video call we did. And I also learned some key points from you when you're doing, and I tell everybody this now, if you're doing a Zoom video, and try to get a Zoom or something where you're on video. So you can not only speak to the people and get a feel for them, their vibe, but look around in the back of the room. What's going on in the back? That because some people will clean up that space, but not the rest of it. So whenever possible, I get them to kind of show me the home via video first, so I can really make a better informed decision on whether that's a place I want to be in, a space I want to spend my time in.
That's right.
So I did. So this first family chose me, and they were so gracious, and they even said they wanted to give me my first house sit.
Oh, that's
So
sweet.
yeah,
and
that was my big break.
and it's just you house sitting? You house sitting?
Now in my profile, no, in my profile, it's me and me alone. I'm not married. My children are adults. But what I have done several times is when I've gotten spoken with the families, I ask them because I do have a regular job that I'm getting ready to divorce. Um,
Good,
but so I'm in education, so I get summers off. So that's when I do most of my house sitting.
good.
And several times I have spoken with the family and asked if they would allow me to bring one or two of my grandchildren with me so
Oh,
that they could experience. And all been very gracious about that. I took my granddaughter with me to Seattle. When I got back that same summer, I had a house sit in Nashville, Tennessee. And that beautiful homeowner allowed me to bring two of my grandsons
oh,
so that yeah, it's been great. And I even had a house sit in the mountains of North Carolina here in borough, and they that was one of my favorites. They allowed I've hosted exchange students in the past,
Uh,
and one of them wanted to come home to see me, and we did a house sit together in the mountains of North Carolina.
oh, that's
Yeah,
beautiful. How
it
old?
has been a great way to share the experience with other people that I love. So
That's amazing. That's amazing. How old were your grandkids when you house sat with them?
the my granddaughter was, I believe, 14. They were all teenagers,
Okay.
so younger teenagers, so they hadn't dove too much into their own world
Yeah.
and still wanted to hang out with me.
Good. Good. Yeah, people ask a lot about house sitting with kids, and I'm like, yes, people do it, but we haven't talked
Yeah.
about it here. So that's amazing. Okay, so you
Yeah.
house sat with the grandkids. You told them ahead of time. You
Mhm.
told the clients ahead of time, or asked them ahead of time,
Yes.
and they were
Yes.
like, yes, no problem. And then
Mhm.
these were
Yeah.
houses where everyone had their own space. Like sometimes
Yes.
I house sit for people with in a one bedroom or whatever, but you house sat for
Mhm.
families, so they already had a bedroom that a kid would be more than comfortable in. So it wasn't like,
Yes, and I was no. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
no, go ahead, go ahead. We have a little
Oh,
delay.
I was gonna say, well, I was very prepared to share spaces, especially with my granddaughter,
Uh-huh.
but the homeowner was like, "Oh, no, you have the whole house to yourself, so we'll make up one room for her and one for you."
Aw,
Okay.
that's
It was wonderful. Yeah. It was our first trip to Seattle, so that was great. The family was wonderful. They left us a car, they left us their membership pass to the national parks. Um, yeah, I've been very, very fortunate using the format that you have put out there because I pretty much follow it to a T,
wonderful.
and I believe I've had 12 house sits. 3 of them were for the same family.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, that family, I actually house sat for them twice in one summer.
oh, good,
So,
good, yes, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
When you like them, you tell them I'm your house sitter now. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been able to do it, and I use it to travel.
That's wonderful. All right, so I
Yeah,
got tears in my eyes. Think just picturing you and your granddaughter just like having a good time in Seattle for the summer in a house sit. That I
yeah,
mean, that's amazing. And the grandsons,
and
right? That's amazing.
an exchange child, and my
Exchange
exchange
student.
daughter as well, which everything about that one was just great. Um,
Oh,
it has truly, and because of such, and I heard you just spoke with someone else about this. I have started low key house sitting in my local area for myself. So I know that I take on more of the responsibilities with that, as far as accidents and what have you. But I think that one of the things that sets me apart as a house sitter in my profile is that I'm a veteran.
mhm.
So that weighs, I don't know if you remember speaking with me or not, but that was one of the things I wasn't so sure about, but that has definitely that's proven beneficial for me, quite
That's
beneficial.
that's right. My profile with all the reviews I have, it still says I'm a U.S. Army veteran, right? Like people love that about me.
Yeah. Yes, I am a veteran, and I work aboard a federal facility now.
Hmm.
So I think with all of that, they see, okay, they see safety, they see this person is definitely vetted.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I can't even hide from you if I wanted to. So
Oh,
I
that's so
can.
amazing. Listen, when we get off, I'm gonna cry about this. I am so excited to hear this. Thank you for that. Do you have any place where you share this, like over on Instagram, or do you have a YouTube channel? If you don't want to, if you don't want a whole bunch of strangers looking at your Instagram, don't tell us your Instagram. Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, just a quick little, and I'm gonna get my 5 minutes off. I know I'm probably over, but just a really quick, because you guys have been so inspiring. When I say you, everyone in the community, but definitely the youth main three, you, Rashida, and Adelia,
Huh?
definitely you three. I have completely changed my thought pattern since I have stumbled upon this community. I gave myself an exit date.
Oh,
I'm out. Yeah, ma'am. I'm
yeah,
out from
yeah.
a job that I never thought I would leave. I
Oh,
never thought I would leave it. But now I'm out. I'm good. I'm good. Thanks. I'm out. And sorry, Adelia, but money or no money, I'm still out.
still going.
I'm still going. This is not it for me anymore. There's no growth for me. why would I do this when when I can live vicariously? Why
Yeah.
would I do that?
Oh,
Um, I don't have anything set up as of now, but um, the one thing that house sitting has allowed me to do and being a part of the community is it changed my thought pattern. I think differently about almost everything now. So whereas when my grandchildren used to tell me they wanted to grow up and have a YouTube channel, I thought they were crazy and lazy. Now I'm like, how can I get that YouTube channel going?
girl.
So, so I'll be taking that part of your classes next.
All right. You know where to find me.
I do. So you may or may not get tired of seeing me. It's okay. I'm going to be there anyway. It's all right. Hello to your mom. She was also an inspiration, by the way.
She's here. She's here.
Um,
Oh,
So
thank you
yes,
so
house sitting
much.
has been huge. The biggest thing that I could tell anybody that else that may, especially if you're just getting started, maybe don't look for the big house sits. You just got to get some ratings out there first. You've got to get some stars under your belt first. And
Says
if you
Miss, I'm
don't even
flying.
have that yet, get some
Says Miss, I'm flying across the
get some
country.
incredible references. Yeah. If you don't have anything else, get some great references because I know that helped me get my first. That helped me get the first family who didn't even, they had a cat that I never even saw. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Were you okay with
Right.
that?
But they really wanted me there. Yeah, they really wanted me there to take care of their garden outside and to feed the outside birds because they were bird lovers, and which was a neat experience. Those birds were waiting for me every morning. Every morning they were waiting.
Birds are supposed to feed themselves. What in
Not
the
these
world?
birds, no ma'am. No ma'am, not these birds. Mm-mm. But it was wonderful. The whole experience was really wonderful, and I got to spend time with my granddaughter as well.
Mhm.
So yeah, so we
I'm
got that
telling
under
you,
our
I'm gonna cry
belts now.
about that later. I am. I am. As soon as this is over, I have a picture. I can see it. I can picture you guys.
It it
Oh.
was so amazing, and I've gone from coast to coast, inside it, outside it. It's also given me more confidence. I met friends who don't speak English. I don't speak Spanish, but they have been to my home to visit for 3 weeks, and I will be traveling solo to visit them in June.
Oh,
Yay!
good. And where are
Yeah.
they?
They
In
are in Ecuador.
Ooh, good. All right. So there's a community of there's this a community of women of black women who are in Ecuador just thriving. That you need to hook
Really?
up
Because I'm
with.
going to look for them.
Uh, are you so you're even if you're not over 60, you can join the 60 plus Black women expats Facebook community. Okay.
I'm
Six,
close enough to count.
okay. I'm in there. Listen, I'm in there. They're a good community. 60 plus Black women expats. And then the woman who runs that community, Deborah, she's in Ecuador, just living, always out,
Okay.
just out living. So while
Yes. Well, I
you're
look
there,
forward to finding her.
yeah, while you're there, you can kick back with them for a little bit too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll be in keto for. I haven't even decided how long I'm staying. So
Oh, good freedom, freedom. We're gonna live, right?
yeah, I'm not free yet, but my mind is getting there.
We're on the
It's
way.
so
Right.
getting there.
There's a domino, right? It's the domino effect, right?
Yeah.
One small thing can, like you said, how house sitting changed your approach to things. One small thing can change
Mhm.
everything. So we're just gonna let the dominoes fall.
And they're falling. They are falling. Thank you so much for starting the revolution.
I didn't start it, but you're welcome, and thank you very much for being here and for doing
Yes.
it, right? And not just watching and being
Yeah.
like, "Oh, they're so great," but for doing it, putting it into place for yourself. Thank you, and thank you for coming and sharing your amazing house sitting stories. I'm so
You're
excited
welcome.
about this. I can't tell you how happy I am. So I'm so glad that you came
Everything
and
about
updated.
this, everything about this is huge, even to being on camera with you right now. So you can't start a YouTube channel if you're not going to be on YouTube.
That's right. No, you can't. That's right. Okay, good. Yeah. So like we're doing new things. We're just trying new
Yes,
things.
ma'am.
See what
Yes.
things we like, what new things we don't like that much. Yeah, we're just trying
Because
new
you know
things.
what? Here's the safety net. If you need a safety net, that old stuff, that old job, all of that, it's still there.
It's
If
still
if that doesn't, if you're not ready, or if you find out it's a little bit more too much for you, slow down, pump your brakes, put on brakes if you need to. All that other stuff, all that American stuff, it's still there, waiting to suck you back in. It's still there.
ain't going nowhere. It ain't going
Sorry,
nowhere.
that might have been a little aggressive.
It's true though. It's true. It ain't going nowhere, right? You're already,
Yeah.
the truth of the matter is you're living out right now the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
We're living the worst
Yeah.
case scenario. So if you go somewhere and it doesn't work out and you got to come back, all right, that's the worst case scenario. You're already living that. So, so
But
what's
I
the,
guarantee you'll look at it differently. I
yeah,
guarantee you.
that's right.
Yeah.
Right. That's right.
So, yeah. So, good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Thank you so much. Continue to keep us posted. Tell everybody, the grandkids, the people in Ecuador, your
Yes.
exchange students, tell everybody we said hey, and we're so glad that they're part of your amazing journey.
And I will see you guys at Reclaim in November.
Oh, good.
Doing doing big things over here.
Aren't you? Aren't you?
Yes,
Wonderful.
ma'am, I am.
Okay. Good. All right. Have a great day.
All right.
Thank you
Bye,
so
guys.
much. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna try one more again. Oh, hey, Janae. Oh, sorry, Donna. You'll be next. I'm sorry. Hi, Janae. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Can you hear me, Stephanie?
I can hear you.
Hey,
Nice to see you. You look so cute as always.
thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. So, I don't. Okay, I don't want to spoil it. Okay, talk to us, Janae. Talk to us about house sitting,
Just
Janae.
let me talk about house sitting and like me starting and what you did for me. Let me just, okay, I'm gonna just testify.
Okay.
So, seriously, okay, I had never traveled like a whole lot. I went to like with my family and everything. I would try to do some traveling. It always took like all our money and all my vacation.
That's right.
Like, we'd like save up, we'd drive, we've driven all the way as far as like New York City and stuff like that. Like I was trying to do the most with what I had. And then I watched your video on house sitting, and girl, I just went down like the whole, like all your videos. I was like, is this a thing? Is this a thing? I don't know. I might be able to do this. I might be able to do this. So, um, got your toolkit, of course. Ladies, like get the toolkit. Stephanie's toolkit has everything you need. And her letter is awesome. Awesome. So I started with the letter, started applying like in October, a couple of years ago. Started applying in October, immediately got like a really good reference. And that's one of the tips I would say, which your other guest just said, is like get a really good reference. If you don't have any reviews, you get somebody. I got somebody from like my corporate background that's we've been friends for like 13 years and we volunteered and did all that. I said, I've never asked you for a review, but I need this review.
That's right.
And girl, yeah, and he came through. He wrote it like he was trying to get me a job, like I was running for president, something. He went all in. I appreciate it. And he did it just like that. I put that up on there. Worked on the profile with all your suggestions. Uh, Another thing I would say is that be really authentic. Like be you, and your people want to see you. So, like you said, if you're a veteran, if there's stuff you enjoy, if you're like really meticulous about certain things, put all that. They want to like get to know you when they see your profile. So did all that, started applying, and you know how you say to Stephanie to do local.
Yeah.
I couldn't get a local sit at first. I
Oh.
couldn't like. So I went to Mexico, right? I
Hmm.
was like, y'all don't want me in Houston, that's fine. Y'all don't want me in Texas. I started doing Mexico, and let me tell you, I don't think I told you how I got
Oh.
my first sit ever. So I was working on getting one in Texas, right, local, and then I kept seeing these ones in Mexico, and I was like, oh, I'd really love to go to Mexico. I saw this one for like a townhouse for a teacher in Monterrey,
Yes.
the one that you were like, I didn't know that it was so beautiful. It was a teacher, and I applied, and she had just a cat, and she was like, oh, I found somebody local, but I loved your profile and all of that. I'll keep you in mind. And I said, yes, please keep me in mind. That's another tip I tell people is like when you're new, if you get declined, which will happen, it's not a big deal. We do that all. You get declined a lot. I always reply, tell them thank you for taking the time to review my application. And if you're a new sitter, when I was new, I'd say, is there anything extra I need to add to my profile? I'm new. Is there anything missing? That like, so I was like, you helped me in this process. And they were so genuine on like, oh, I really like this, or your profile is great. We just went with someone local. Then you start to learn, or we like couples better. That's the only reason we didn't choose you, type thing. And that'll build your confidence too. Build your confidence. So she didn't choose me, but she kept me in mind. And do you know, a month later, because she was a teacher, she told another teacher about me who
Uh-huh.
was not on Trusted House Sitters, had never done house sitting or had a house sitter. and she reached out to me, and I basically onboarded her to trusted house sitter. I was her first sitter. She was the first time having a house sit or a house sitter for her dog. And that's how I booked my first house sit, and it was international. So, and since then, Stephanie's had me everywhere.
Off and running, just off and running. This is amazing. So yeah, so a lot of things that I don't talk enough about. So the reference, right? I don't talk enough about that. You just
Yeah.
did an amazing reference. My reference was from a woman who I had taken care of her kids, right? So the woman
Yes.
done the nanny work for in Australia. She was like, not
Oh,
only would I trust her with my pets, I trusted her with my kids, right? So just
exactly.
for
Oh, yeah.
yeah, so get a reference. Get a reference from somebody who will just rave about you, not rant, rave about you,
Hmm.
right? And then, so yes, thank you for reviewing my profile. Keep me in mind for any future house sits. Yes to that, right? That's
Hmm.
very good work. I've never thought about the. I never thought about the. Is there anything I can do to my profile? Never thought about asking that, but that's really helpful for a new person
It
because
really was.
I think even if their advice isn't, even if their advice is just, oh, we just went with the first person who applied, which sometimes they do, right? Even if the advice is not helpful to you, it at least tells you it's not me, right? It's not like,
Exactly.
oh, people just don't like me, which is a thing that people will think. There are plenty of people who have tried to apply for
That
a house sit, have not gotten the house sit, and then being like, oh, nobody's going to book me. I'm like, it was just one person who didn't book you,
it
right?
was exactly. It's and I mean, but you need the confidence. You're right. So you just need to know it has nothing to do with you. It's usually just think of it from the homeowner standpoint. Like if they have somebody local, somebody they can meet that's right around the corner, of course that makes sense for them to do that. You know what I mean? Like I don't take it personal. I get declined a whole lot. I
Can
still
we,
apply a whole lot.
can
Hmm?
we talk about you not being single?
Oh,
You can
yes,
say
I'm
that.
not single.
Janae is not single. Janae is a married woman who house sits. This is
I'm
something.
a married woman who house sits. Yes. So I do solo sits. I've done sits with my husband. He's only been
Oh,
on one. Yeah, so I've done a lot of solo sits. I've done a sit with my at that time 24-year-old son. He
oh,
went with me to Denver. We had a great time hiking, all that kind of stuff. And then I have done a house sit with my husband that was like local in the state of Texas.
oh.
But I am taking him on the Europe house sit that we're going. Yes, so he will be with me in Europe.
Wonderful. When do you want to tell us when?
Oh, sure. We're going to leave. We're April through mid-May, so we'll be like on about 5.5 to 6 weeks.
Ooh,
And
that's
he's going to be
awesome.
with me on that one. Yeah.
One house
So
sit
we're
for
excited.
5 weeks.
Right now, two house sits, Portugal and the UK, and then I just applied for one in Spain to like bridge the gap in between.
Okay.
But we're perfectly fine doing our own thing in between if we need to. I mean, there's not like there's not stuff to see.
Right.
I think we can find a way to be busy.
Oh,
And then we both work remote. So yeah,
work remote so you can stay as long as y'all feel like staying.
yeah. Even though Stephanie, I was being bad because see, you're a bad influence. I'm gonna tell y'all, Stephanie will get y'all in trouble. I'm gonna say it right now.
No, no, I would never. Uh-uh.
Because you want to stay longer. So like we agreed on like a month and a half. Like I was trying to do 2 months, and he was like, I think like a month and a half is kind of this is our first trip to Europe, and we're trying to do the most. It's like a month and a half. And then I was like, okay, we're like at 5.5 weeks now. But then the sits keep coming in because once you're on the ground and people know you're going to be on the ground, then it's like, oh, you're going to be in Portugal. Can you drive 5 hours and do whatever? Or, so it starts to like a snowball effect, like you said. And I think some of your other guests this morning said, if you're on the ground, they are like, hey, can you come this way? Next thing you know, your trip turns out to be a lot longer if you have that flexibility. But we already bought our tickets home, so we got to come back.
Okay, okay. Well, I don't know. Tickets can be changed. Tell us about your pet experience. Were you into pets before you started house sitting?
So that's the thing. I was not like I wouldn't say I was into pets. And this is kind of a good story for any of you guys that are like on the fence of like the whole taking care of pets thing. So I grew up with pets, cats. So, but then I didn't have them in adulthood, right? I had children, and I always told people, children is enough. I don't need something else to take care of. I have children. I don't need pets.
Yeah.
And then, and I had friends with dogs, but I always was kind of like, standoffish about dogs. Not like a fear of dogs, but like I wasn't comfortable around them because I
Uh,
didn't grow up with dogs.
right.
Um, but when I got ready to sit, we have a neighbor 2 houses over that's really close, and they have 2 dogs and two cats. And I was like telling what I was trying to do, and so they let me take my first pictures. Like I didn't have any pet pictures. I took pictures with their pets. So that's another trick. Like you have friends, you have family with pets, take pictures with those pets for your profile. And then so the first one I was like, okay, I'm going to do a small dog. If I'm going to get used to dogs, uh, let me do a small dog. And honestly, I built up my love of pets the more I spent time with them. So
Okay.
if you don't have pets and you're not used to having them all the time, when you're with them, and I'm a very calm person anyway. It's funny because pets love me. I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like pets love me, but then I hadn't been the person to be like, oh, look at this dog. And now I'm totally that. Like I'm learning breeds. I'm watching, what is it, the Westminster thing on Netflix on like dogs. So
uh,
you can, yes. So I didn't have a really heavy like pet background, but you learn as you go.
okay.
Um, and there are 50,000 YouTube videos on anything you need to know about any breed you're going to take care of when it comes to dogs or cats.
Oh, so do you watch a video about the breed sometimes before you go? Oh, look at
Hmm.
you.
I sure do. Yeah. But you know what? As much as this is like beautiful and Stephanie, like this has been, like I told you, life changing. I do treat it like a business. Like, okay, so in my job world, I'm an executive assistant. I'm like detail oriented, all of that. I bring that into my house sitting. Tons of communication, tons of contact, thank you notes, WhatsApp and pictures every day.
Yeah.
I'm really like, making them feel comfortable. So when it comes to like, I want to do a good job of taking care of their pet, and I don't know anything about this particular breed, if they're like more friendly or if they, pull on their lead all the time, like they need more obedience training. I come in and I learn that. And the first big dog I had, like I had one that was like a 75-pound lab.
Uh-huh.
Uh, she was really friendly, but they're really strong, right? The big dog. So I did watch a video on the best way to like control the harness and stuff like that. Girl, all that you learn everything on YouTube.
That's right. You telling me. That's right. You sure can. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah. So I never really thought about that. I always say, if you're not into dogs, just house sit cats, right? But I
And
never
you can, yeah, you can just do cats, yeah.
you can learn it if you're into it and you want to, you can learn all of this stuff, right? We can learn it
All
all.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
I,
about staying flexible and like enjoying it. You know what I mean? And it's been fun. It's like every pet is different. Every house sit has been, and I've had some beautiful house sits. So, you got me addicted, but I don't see me house sitting like stopping anytime soon. Even my husband now, I show my husband house sits, Stephanie, and he'll be like, "Oh, book it." I'm like, "This is not a hotel."
just book it. Tell them we'll be there. I do want to ask one question only because I understand why the person is asking. Black
Oh,
men
yes.
often ask me if it's possible for them to get house sits, right? Are people going to trust me? Your husband has house sat with you. Is he black?
Yes,
Oh,
yes, and he is. But I do understand the question. I'm gonna be real about that question.
yeah.
On my profile, I signed up as a solo sitter with the intention of solo sitting,
Hmm.
right? So the profile is all me.
Hmm.
I do have some pictures in there of like me and the kids. I don't have a picture of me and my husband yet because he hadn't
He wasn't,
decided he was
yeah,
gonna be in on that.
late to the party.
And but but I completely understand the question because there's that part of us, right? Just from where we live, especially here in the US, like what is that going to deter them from picking up my profile? If we are a black couple sitting, now I'd love for you to talk to like another black couple that's sitting, because that is a good question. So right now, the way that I handle it is I'm a solo sitter. All the profile, all the reviews are me or me and my son, that type of thing. But when I apply, I let them know, is it okay to? And some people ask me, would you like to bring your husband? You know
Okay.
what I mean? Like that type of thing. So the fact that his picture's not on the profile, it keeps it open to, yes, if there's anyone that has a bias that wouldn't want like a black man to come. But the reviews, I have enough reviews and everything to carry pretty much anybody I'm going to bring with me. And if you're a great sitter, um, that's not going to matter. I mean, honestly, I have not ran into very many solo black men. If you see one, I haven't. Have you? Have you ran into a lot of like solo black men
One,
sitters?
one,
One.
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
One.
I see them traveling, but not sitting.
Yeah,
Like I see them when I travel, but not sitting. Yeah.
no,
So
it's harder for black men to get started in the US. Now, I don't know about out of the US, in particular in
yeah.
the South in the US. Much hard. It is
Okay.
hard for them to get started solo.
Right.
And I don't
Mm-hmm.
you're the first. I think you're probably the first woman I know who house sat with her husband in the US. Halisi and her husband house sat in Europe. I think for black
Okay.
people in general out of the US, things just get easier. But there even though, not if, even though there are people who would never book a black house sitter, we stay booked,
True.
right?
Very true.
So,
Very
right.
true.
So let them do what they're going to do. There are people who will never book a black house sitter, right?
Yeah. And you don't want to sit for them anyway.
You don't want to be in
So
the house anyway, but we stay booked. We stay booked.
yes.
There's enough, right? There's enough.
There's enough. And honestly, I feel like the ones that wouldn't book a black house sitter are like, from my experience, few and in between or whatever. Or I can't, you know what I mean? Like most people are so genuine and so nice. And honestly, like they want to take you to dinner. They want to
Yeah,
welcome you into their home. It's a certain kind of person that
it,
does
that's
want a
right.
house sitter, right?
It is. It is. There's for
Yeah.
now, there'll be a time I think when
Uh-huh.
house sitting is more mainstream and we'll get more mainstream
Yes,
people. But right now, house sitting is a very gentle person. House sitting
it is.
house sitters are gentle people, are people who love travel,
Yes,
are people who love animals, and are people who just want to make sure that are into hospitality, right? You get some of the best
exactly.
hospitality as a house sitter. Uh,
Oh, yes.
the house sitting is where you're going to get the good hospitality for now, while it's still a fringe thing, right? Once it becomes
It really is.
common,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, I didn't think, you know what, Stephanie, I didn't even think about that, but I think you're right. It's just because it's such like a little niche community. It's certain kind of people, and the people have been like the owners have been fantastic. I mean, they'll pick me up from the airport. The one in Mexico City I had last, she cooked dinner for me, and she was a fantastic cook. Like she was well traveled. Her husband was from South Africa. She was from, I mean, it's just like they're very interesting people, and
yeah,
they want to meet people. They want to meet people.
that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
right. Very interesting people is a good way to put it, right? Just people who have been places and who do things and like to have
Oh, yes.
home, and it's a very certain type of client. That's why
It
maybe
it really is.
abrupt when people are like, "Is it safe? Is it this?" I'm like,
Mhm.
stop asking those questions. You're in the wrong arena, right? This is a different type of person.
It's a different type of person, and it took me a while to like, and that's one of the things like I had to get. It's a certain mindset, right? And so that was kind of the questions my husband had was really about safety, right? Here I am traveling solo, number one, and I'm staying at someone's house we don't even know
That's
in
right.
cities ain't nobody been to. Like
That's
sometimes
right.
people we don't even know have not been to the city. Some town in Mexico ain't nobody heard of. But it was but that's our security, and I feel like it's not a problem to ask those questions. That's how we're trained, because we do need to be security minded. But then it's one of those, it's kind of like until you've seen these type of people, like you forget these kind of people exist. You really do.
You do.
But they exist, and they're like fantastic. And I told my husband, I said, some of the people where you meet them and you're like, this gives you hope in humanity. Like you
Yeah.
like, I need more of these kind of people in my life.
Yeah.
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 I
So but I'm not going to stay long because I'll have like 500 tips for more Oh, I do have another new sitter tip. I have one more.
Okay, let's hear it.
Because I don't want to take up any time anybody else waiting. But if you're a brand new sitter, don't book a very long first sit.
Mm,
You don't know what you're into. You don't, you know what I mean? You want to get your feet wet. So don't book like, oh, I'm going for a week. I mean, that's my suggestion. Oops. That's my suggestion. But if that's all you can get, I understand. But um, it's kind of good to get like, oh, a weekend sit or a 3-day sit, especially if you haven't cared for pets or especially you're just new to house sitting and you want to kind of fill out the communication and stuff like that. It's easier to kind of do a little thing and be like, okay, let me regroup and let me learn. This is what I learned from the sit. Now let me do a long one because I did have a friend who was trying the house sitting and she felt like it wasn't for her, but her very first sit was like a week in New York City. And the
oh,
apartment was not up to her standards. Like a lot of things didn't. make her feel comfortable about doing it. And I understood why, but then she was stuck there for a week.
Okay. Okay. That,
So if you're new, I'd say get a little bit, like get a taste of house sitting, and then after that, just be all yeah.
you
So
can go all in after that. Yeah. Yes.
all in, all in.
In the U.S., you can find plenty of weekend 2 and 3 day house sits because unfortunately that's all we have. That's all Americans have for vacation. So you can find a 2 or 3 day house sit and not have to commit to
Yes.
6 weeks in Europe off the bat. So Janae,
Unless you want to.
can you do you want to, not can you, do you want to
Okay.
share some house sitting things on your YouTube channel? Can
Oh, sure. Yeah, I can do that. I can share some things on my channel about, I don't know, questions, whatever people want to know about house sitting.
I think you
I
should.
really just started. Hmm,
I think you should.
you said,
Mhm.
oh, okay.
Thank
Okay, I will do that. I will work on doing that because mostly I, talk about it a little bit. Like I just show stuff on Instagram when I feel like being busy on Instagram,
you.
and then I kind of am not on there. But okay, I will do that, Stephanie. I
Thank
do
you.
what you say. I do what you say.
If you want, I said, do you want to? I think I said, do you want? Can you? Yeah, I think so. Right? All of us have a different perspective. I
Right.
help everyone. I can't, I mean, not help. I can't answer everyone's questions. I've never house sat with
Mm,
a grown son. I've never house sat with a husband. I've never
okay.
sat with, right? And I've never done, and even though I've house sat in Europe for a few, back to back, I've never organized
Right.
a trip the way you're going to organize it, right? We're all going to do
It's
it differently. So I
We
think
do it differently. Yeah.
some people would love to hear about it. And you are the luxury vagabond, and house sitting is the luxury travel hack that nobody knows about yet. So I think,
It is. That's what I use it for. I'm one of those. I was like, what do I want to get? That's another question to ask. What do you want to get out of house sitting? And for me, I was like, I want to stay in beautiful homes. Like I'm just that's just me. I'm like, if I'm gonna do it, I want the villa on the corner, with the view. And that's what I go for. That's what I target. So I that's all I actually look for. Like my profile is pretty much set up like you see what kind of person I am. Don't be bringing me these other sits that do not fit this profile. You see
no
this
pool.
profile.
I don't even see it. I don't even see it if you
I
don't
don't
have,
see it.
or at least a hot tub. At least give me a hot tub, right?
Give me something. Give me a view. And sometimes it's just location. You know what I mean? It's not like the house itself may be luxury, even though most of them I sit are. It may be that it's, I don't know, in the center of a city. Like if I could get one like in the perfect spot in like Paris, of course I would like consider that one. As
Yeah,
long as it's like super, super clean and organized, because
yeah.
that's my personality. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can make, so I like that. You can make it what you want, but you have to kind of know what you want, know what you're into. You may take a
Exactly.
like, oh, actually, I'm not into this. Or, yes, I'm into this and I didn't even know it, right? Like with the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
I like dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Who do I like dogs? Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I
good.
agree, Stephanie. Yeah. And if you're not like for me, I had to learn about having a dog because I didn't have dogs.
Mhm.
So I had to learn about walking schedules, dealing with heat. Like I said, girl, I just watch videos. Y'all, seriously, yeah, if there's a will, there's a way.
That's right.
And
It's a
When Stephanie's telling y'all can do anything, seriously, y'all can.
you
Y'all
can
can.
you can do it. It's an amazing time to need to learn things, right? I can't imagine having to learn things in the 1700s. I
Ooh,
don't know. How do you learn stuff? You don't. You don't learn it.
you know.
It just kills you because you never learn, right? Instead, you can learn how to do it on YouTube. It's really easy. It's really easy.
It's really easy. Just like Google it. Somebody has done it. And that's what I love about this time that people will share everything. And
Every
even in like this community, if there's something I need, I know I can go to you, Rashida, or go in the chat and be like, hey, I'm looking for this, that, and the other. Or has anyone ever done this? Has anybody ever lived here? I'm real good about getting on YouTube or either getting on Facebook and finding other people that are talking about the same thing. Because people are so really, people can be so giving. And that's why I love this community. So really, all the ladies are fabulous. And I've
Fabulous.
made some, I made great friends.
I know.
You got me hooked up with Katrina.
I know. Janae and Katrina be hanging out without me. Not a call. Do you wanna? But that's another. Let's get off that subject. Janae's Janae's
Right, we're not going to talk about that.
Janae's YouTube channel and Instagram are Luxury Vagabond. Okay, so these are the places where you can find her. Instagram is where you can find her now. YouTube,
Right.
go ahead and hit subscribe just in case the spirit moves Janae to
Yeah,
make.
I know. Yes, I will. But you know what? Okay, look, you have given me a challenge, and especially I'm gonna be going on this six weeks in Europe. I do need to do some like house sitting
I would love
stuff, and
to see it.
yeah,
Please, I would love to see it
yeah.
today. Okay.
Okay,
All right. Thanks so much for coming on and talking and updating
of
us.
course. Thanks for having me, Stephanie. I'll keep seeing you around.
Yes. Okay. Bye.
Love
Bye.
you. Bye.
All right, Donna, let's try it. Can we do it? Okay, so the green room has filled up. Hi, guys. We're coming. We're coming.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
See
Hi,
you.
nice to see you, Stephanie.
Nice to see you, Donna. How are you?
I'm doing better. I'm a week post surgery, so I'm
Mm,
doing good, feeling much better. Happy to be able to share my experiences with house sitting. I've had some delays in my planning, but I did do my first house sit. Got a chance to show. I think you were on the co-working group the day I got to show everybody the little puppy that
yeah.
me and my daughter house sat. Yeah, yeah. So he was adorable. His name was Casey. Casey was a brand new little puppy that my friend had, and she was a new single mom, newly divorced, and she needed to get away. And so she asked me and my daughter to come, and my daughter was 16 at that time, and she was like, "Yeah," because she loves animals. So she was like, "Yeah." He wore her out. He wore her out, but it was a great experience. A beautiful home. This lady, she is a longtime friend. We used to be roommates several times, several years. We were roommates for a long time, and we actually had lost touch for a little while. So this was my first time or second time visiting her home. And when we made this arrangement for a house sitting, my whole idea was because I had already joined house sitter school by this point, and my whole idea was this is strictly for me to get a reference, you know. So we have the pictures from that on the profile and the trusted sitters profile now, and I have a reference from other people too for house sitting, specifically from my mom. My mom used to have me house sit for her when she would travel.
That's
So
right.
my mom gave me a house sitting reference, and then my friend with her puppy sit. So um, there's nothing, no shame in your game to get references from whoever you can to get that profile started. Nothing wrong with that.
Wow.
I still have. I still haven't booked anything through Trusted House Sitters yet, but I am on there and I am actively looking because so my most recent medical emergency has drained my savings. So
Ah,
I'm not going to be able to do my travel plans the way I thought I was going to do. I thought I was going to get a hotel or Airbnb, but I can house it. So I'm going to be actively applying for house sits here within the next week or so. I want to go someplace where there's some water. I want to be by a lake, a beach, something. And you all, I feel like you and what was the name of the lady that just spoke?
Janae.
I feel like you and Janae just gave me license to be a snob and choose a house sit that meets my standards.
That's
You
right.
know, I want to be by some water. It doesn't have to be an ocean, but it needs to be some kind of water somewhere. You
Mhm.
know, that's it's a thing for me. I don't know what it is. It's just something in my spirit. It's like you need to be by some water.
Yeah,
It's very healing to be by water.
it is. It is.
Hmm.
So you're in Georgia, yes? I don't know if I.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm
Hmm.
not a person who can keep information private, so I hope that wasn't a secret. Okay,
No,
so
that's not a secret.
so this is a wonderful time to get started looking for house sits because you got all up and down the coast,
Savannah, Hilton Head.
down into
Hilton Head's
Florida.
not that far from Atlanta. Yeah. So I've been looking.
Good. Wonderful. And
Mhm.
your daughter, your teenage daughter, how sat with you? Was there any, so you knew the client that you were doing this first house sit for to get the reference from. But
Mhm.
was there any concern on her end about having a teenager house sit with you?
Not at all. She was actually very excited about it because she wanted, somebody had enough energy to deal with this puppy. Because
Okay.
there's no way I could have done that by myself. Because he has puppies. I mean, he was not even 6 months old. He,
Mm.
he hadn't he hadn't had all the shots, so he couldn't be walked out on the street. You could only take him in the yard.
Oh,
So this was like a more of a special needs type of situation, which I highly don't recommend if
yeah,
you're new to house sitting or if you're new to pets. You don't want to take a puppy sit because it can be very intense.
right.
They're just like babies. They sleep a lot, but when they're up, they're up. They have a lot of energy, and you got to watch them. This particular puppy, he was teething, so he was biting everything, including us.
Yeah.
So he was biting everything. He was biting the walls. He was biting the chair legs. He was
I
biting
I
everything.
don't,
Poor thing. I felt so bad for him.
I don't sit for puppies. I can't do it. Y'all are better than me.
Yeah, 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 yep. He had a biting issue that was very tangible. Like the owner, she had a problem with his biting too. So but we handled it, we handled it and she appreciated it. And the
Yes.
house was beautiful. She has a pool. It rained the entire time we were there, so we didn't get a chance to get in it. But she had a pool. It was beautiful. It was nice to be there. The area that she had for us to sleep in was an entire kind of like an apartment, a basement apartment type of situation.
Good. Good.
And so, yeah, and then we had full access to the house, the laundry, the kitchen, everything. So we were able to, have a good time and enjoy each other. My daughter is a, a reader. She loves to read. She's a bookworm. So she just was sitting reading her book, and I was doing my work on my laptop, and we had a good time, and it was really peaceful,
Yes.
very quiet subdivision with, huge houses. Like the houses they have what do you call utility garages. So in addition to two
Oh,
or three car garages, they have a separate garage off the lawn area where they can pull their ride-on lawnmowers in and out. I mean, this was a fabulous, fabulous community. Beautiful, beautiful community.
good. Yeah. So it's a good chance to treat yourself, even though you can't get in the pool. It's nice to be in a it's different surrounding and just have a nice view of something that can help you relax and enjoy some time, some quieter time. Because I believe that
Hmm.
in a different place, you have a different focus and you can be a different person for a little while, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You can
yeah,
lay
yeah.
down other stuff
And
for
and there's just something about being in a luxurious home, just being there. There's just something about that, just tall ceilings, wood everywhere, everything, is full wood, what do you call it? Whatever kind of wood floor, beautiful, luxurious furniture, just really pleasant
yeah.
environment to be in when you're away from home. So, yeah.
Good. I wish more and more and more of that for you. Now, Donna's channel is Plant Your Seed. Plant.
Plant your seeds of transformation.
Thank you. Plant Your Seeds of Transformation.
Hmm.
And I've linked
YouTube,
to the
YouTube at.
channel here in the thing because here
Thank
it because there's an abbreviated D. Or wait, am I on the wrong channel?
That's not the channel. The
Uh,
channel is YouTube at Plant Your Seeds of Transformation. YouTube at Plant Your Seeds of Transformation. YouTube.com forward
let me get the.
slash at Plant Your Seeds of Transformation.
Thank you. Let me
Yeah.
get that one.
Yeah, a lot of times people just really have to know what your own needs are. You have to know what your needs are. You have to know what you like
That's
because
right.
you don't want to be miserable when you get there and feel like you're wasting your time.
Oh,
And yeah, but I'm open. I'm at this point, I'm open to pretty much any kind of animal, but I don't want to go above two.
right.
A lot of the sits have three, four. I can't do that to myself. And I'm not sure my daughter would do it again.
Okay.
So most likely when I go again, most likely I'll be on my own because I don't think she wants to do it again.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So you don't want to bite off more than you can chew. You don't want to have to,
Mhm.
you don't want it to feel like a job. You don't want it to
Mhm.
feel like a job.
Now, I wouldn't mind doing the horse thing, see if she'll do that because she did have horse riding and horse care lessons
Oh,
about a year or so ago. I paid like $500 for her to have all these lessons. So I think I might be able to get her to do a horse sit with me. So I
okay.
might look into that. I'm going to talk to her about that. But yeah, in terms of trying to but in terms of trying to go, my whole motivation for going is because this is her last year with me. She's 17. She'll be 18. She'll be an official adult next January. And I don't want to miss this opportunity this year to get out and get her away from the normal everyday. My other two are adults, and this is my last baby.
Yeah. Yeah. So set some alerts. You can set some alerts for your area that just say horses, right? Set some alerts for
Mhm,
your area. You might find something, right? This is
mhm.
you're in a place where people who have horses,
Yes,
they live around there.
right, 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 right. This is where we had our lessons, in this area, 20
Okay.
minutes from the house. Yeah.
Yeah, I would set some alerts and just see, right? So you never know what could pop up. That'll be another amazing chance for you guys to get away together. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And my main motivation for doing all of this right now, outside of just having that time with my daughter, is money. I've had some emergencies over the last 6 months that have drained my finances. And so at this point, spending money on accommodations is just not an option. So having the option, having the opportunity to do this is just amazing. It's a real blessing. I don't know if there's any other moms out there who are parenting alone, parenting solo, who want to travel, but you feel like you can't travel because of budgetary constraints. This is like a great solution, especially if your kids don't mind being around pets.
It's a wonderful solution. I think I call it the ultimate travel hack or life hack. I don't know, right? That free accommodation frees up a lot of money, right? Or is a lot of money you don't have to come up with. That free
Mhm,
accommodation is a big deal. Use it.
mhm,
Use it.
mhm,
Yeah.
mhm, mhm.
Wonderful. All right. Thank you so much, Donna. So Donna is plant. I fixed it. Okay. Plant your seeds of transformation. You can find Donna here. She's part of the Patreon community, so you probably know her face if you've come over to Patreon co-working. I hope that you're recovering well, and I wish you a full and speedy recovery, Donna.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for all you do, Stephanie. You all, and thank you to all the guests. You all are such a blessing and such an inspiration. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Bye, Donna. Yami, I'm coming for you. Okay, hang in, Yami. Let's see. Hey, hey, hi.
Am I on here?
You're on here. We can see you and hear you.
Hi.
Surprise. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. Great. Nice to see you. Talk to us about house sitting.
Okay, so I started almost a year ago now. I had been watching your videos for a while, and at the time I had moved back in with my parents for during COVID, so I just wanted some space, some space to figure things out on my own. And I had lived on my own. I had gone to college and worked in a different city at the time. I'm from California,
Okay.
so yeah, moving back in was an adjustment, and I just wanted that space again. So I joined Trusted House Sitter School, and after watching some videos, I booked my first house sit Memorial Day weekend of last year.
Ah,
So yes, so after doing that one, I really liked it, and I had gotten some character references from some friends and family that I had pet sat for,
okay, good.
and then yeah, it was kind of just a snowball effect after that. I did a couple back-to-back house sits during the summer. I had a positive experience with that. So then, yeah, so now it's been almost a year and I've been a full-time house sitter thanks to you.
Wonderful. That's amazing. How many houses do
Yeah.
you think you've had in this past almost year?
Um, I'm on one now. I think it's either my 19th or 20th house sit.
Wow, look at you. Where are you
Yes.
now? Or do you want to tell
I'm
us?
in Vallejo. Yeah. I'm in Vallejo. And I've done almost all my house sits within California.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
All right. Vallejo is northern, right? Near Sacramento.
Yep.
Like,
Uh-huh.
good. Oh, that's amazing. And so you don't have to pay rent any place, and you get a little
Exactly.
space and quiet and time away from mom and dad for a while. That's
Yes.
oh,
Yep.
that's wonderful. Okay. So were you into pets before? Had you had pets before, or is this new for you?
I've always been into pets, but I've never had any of my own. Um, I'm in my mid-20s now, so I'm not quite ready to get my own pet and settle down with anything. So this has been like a kind of like a win-win situation because I get to hang out with the pets, but I can give them back.
Amazing. All right. And do you sit for cats and dogs? Anything else?
Yes, cats, dogs. I looked after about 10 chickens on one house sit, so that was fun. Got some free eggs.
Mhm. Girl,
Yes,
that's worth the price of the membership right there.
yes, exactly.
That's
Yes.
amazing. All right. So, is there anything that you think somebody would need to know about house sitting that we haven't talked about, or that you don't hear talked about enough, or anything?
I think honestly, the main thing I've learned is just be willing to go with the flow. I've had some things that have popped up, and at the end of the day, you're that pet's parents for that time period that you're looking after them. Um, I've had a couple situations. One dog was sick, so I had to boil him some chicken and some rice, make him some rice. So you just have to be ready to go with the flow and take care of that pet as if it's your own. There was one situation I was looking after a dog in an apartment complex, and she got bit by another dog in the little doggy potty area. So I had to take her to the emergency room, and yeah, just little things that that I wouldn't have expected beforehand. You can ask all the questions, and there's still going to be things that come up.
Yes.
Um, yeah,
Yeah. Still, there's still going to be surprises. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. But it's like life. It's just like you
yeah,
have to navigate your
exactly,
own day. You're gonna have to navigate.
exactly. Yes, and I would say even with the hiccups, I mean, the pros far outweigh the cons when it comes to house sitting. I've paid $0 in rent for almost a year, so yeah, I can take a couple of those things.
Yes. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then you work remotely, or do you go to a job?
Yeah, I work remotely. I'm currently in the process of establishing a freelance writing business. So, yeah.
Wonderful. Okay. Do you have any plans to go out of the country? Just a question.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I want to relocate. I don't want to be in the US long term. So eventually I would like to start doing some house sits in Portugal because that's top of my list in terms of where I want to expatriate to. Amsterdam and Thailand are top of the list too.
Good. Okay. Good. You can find house sits in any of those places. The Thai house sits go very quick. The good Thai house
Oh,
go very quickly, so you have to
okay.
be alert and be ready. But yeah,
Good to know.
yeah. Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. A question just popped up that I'd like you to answer. Were you reimbursed for the money you spent on the emergency, like taking the pet to the vet?
They already had a card on file.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. And that's it actually. Funny enough, it ended early as well. I think I want to say a week or two earlier than expected, and they paid me about $500 just for the inconvenience.
Oh,
So yeah, I was
okay.
like, I'll take it.
That's nice.
Yes, I found that a lot of the people, a lot of the pet owners on how trusted house sitters are just really good people, and they're very kind people. Yeah,
That's right. That's
yeah,
right. So as far as the vet, most people have an agreement with their vet while you're there. They've worked
yeah,
something out with their vet. Either they've already given them a credit card, or the vet is just going to bill them when they come back. You're
yeah.
not, or they have, or in Mexico, because they know a vet visit's going to cost like 40 or $50. They just leave you the cash just in case, right?
Right.
We're not talking
Yeah.
about you. When we say you have to take people's responsibilities, we don't mean the financial responsibilities. We just mean like the pet to the vet. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. They have that
Okay.
kind of thing worked out. Always. I don't know that I've ever been to one and had the question like, what happens if I have to go to the vet? It's always either we've prepaid something, or they have the card on file, or they're going to bill us later. It's never on my hand.
Yeah.
They don't want to do that because they don't want you to be the one to decide if the pet needs to go, right? If the pet needs to go to the vet, you need to take them. They don't want you sitting around
Right.
count your coins, deciding if you're going to take their pet to save
Yeah.
the pet's life. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
What does your family think about this house sitting?
Um, at first they were a little hesitant. They didn't really understand what it was. But now that I've done enough of them, I think they're like, okay. I've always kind of been like, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. So they just have to figure it out.
Yeah. Just like there's a type of person that you find who is a house sitting client, there's a type of person who's a house sitter, and she's
Yeah.
probably done her own thing a time or two before. It's not the first time that she's done something that people are like, "What is she doing?"
Yeah. Exactly.
Good. I'm so glad that you love it, and I'm so glad that you're doing back-to-back house sits. Sometimes, especially living in expensive California, I saw that comment too. Right, living in expensive California.
Yeah.
This is a. I don't even know how to put a price on what this is saving you or not costing you. So that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, for a one-bedroom apartment, I would probably be paying close to 3,000 a month. So, yeah.
Right? Okay, so that's wonderful. And then how's your freelance writing business going? What kind of writing do you do?
Okay, so for now, I'm a generalist. I've definitely been procrastinating on some things. So I think I need to start attending your co-working sessions just to make sure I'm getting some work done. But I'm more of a generalist right now. I do blog posts, um, landing pages, web pages, product descriptions, that sort of thing.
All right, very good, very good. Do you have a YouTube channel or an Instagram that you're okay with a bunch of strangers putting their eyeballs
I'm
on?
not really active on Instagram, and I'm not really active on YouTube either.
Okay,
So I don't think it'd be beneficial.
that's
Yeah.
all right. I just asked, right? I just don't want you to leave without dropping that if you wanted to, if you had it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, uh, anything that you think we should have covered that we didn't cover? Anything you
I
sitting?
was like putting things in my notes
Oh,
while I was listening to all the other women. Let me see if there's anything.
okay.
Um, if I don't write it down, I'll forget. So during I guess when you're asking questions, I always make sure to ask if the dog, cat, whatever it is, has any behavioral issues or if they've had any behavioral issues in the past. And I've never had anyone say yes. So, but that's just something I think if you're a little more hesitant around animals, that's something that you should ask. Yeah.
Ask that, and then I would ask it two different ways, right? Ask that, and then
Mhm.
ask like, how do they respond to strangers, to total strangers, or to new people?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
you want to know that you don't want to be surprised. Most people, if they know that there's a serious problem, they're going to either have like bring in a professional dog person or board the
Mhm.
dog in a professional place. I think most people you can trust, but you do need to still ask the question because somebody's going to sneak in there whose dog
Yeah.
should be with a free house sitter, right? Whose dog should be in
Exactly.
either boarded or with a professional, right?
Yeah.
So that is a good question to keep in your list of questions.
Yeah, and also I think having the second tier of membership makes me feel a little more secure, since it includes the insurance and things like that. Yeah,
That's right. Yeah, it's worth it to peace of mind, right? It's worth it to pay a little extra for some peace of mind, right? I
yeah,
don't want to have to rebuild nobody's kitchen. That's the only thing I can think of. I don't. I set this kitchen on fire. I don't want to have to rebuild these people's kitchens.
yes,
Where is the insurance?
exactly.
Insurance me, please.
Yeah,
Good. Okay, wonderful. So best of luck to you on your continued house sitting journey. I hope that it
thank
continues.
you.
Amazing. I hope that it's even more amazing than it has already been for you. I'm so glad. Thank you for giving us some
Thank
updates and
you.
letting us know what you're out here doing.
Sure,
All right.
happy to be
Have a
here.
wonderful day, Yemi.
Thank you. You too.
Bye. Celeste, I'm coming for you. Celeste, Julie, are you still here? Celeste, and then Julie. All right. Hi, Celeste.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm well. I wanted to come on and speak about anyone who may have mobility issues, such as I do.
Okay.
So that was one thing I wanted to share. I did my first house sit actually the weekend of the second Exodus Summit.
Okay.
That I did. I applied probably like a week before that and got my first one, the first time out, which was cool. They actually happened to be on the platform too, and so we did a video chat and they had it was either a 7 or 8 year old golden retriever. And
Oh,
so it was in my hometown, which is 3 hours away. So it was just a drive away. And I got there the day before and was able to meet with them. and it happened to be a rainy weekend, and that's when my arthritis really acts up.
Oh,
And so we did a walk, and I wasn't able to do the walk entirely. And so I was explaining to them what was going on. And what they did was actually the wife worked at at the university in town. So she called a GA, a grad assistant that walks the dog sometime,
ah,
and had them come and walk the dog for me. So,
good.
which turned out really well.
Good. I'm so glad you brought this up. This is another, yeah, you're right. Another thing we haven't talked about enough. But there are people who will pay you, or not pay you, excuse me. There are people who will book you to house sit for them and still pay a dog walker to come and walk the
Yeah.
dog. I've had at least two
Yeah.
different clients do that. And just because, just because, yes.
It worked out well. It really worked out well. They did have a fenced in yard, so I would go out in the backyard and I was able to toss a ball and play with the dog, out there um, periodically. But the luckily for me, the dog was older too, so I saved a picture of what our weekend looked like.
Let me move my thing. I have a thing in the way. Hold on. Oh, nap time, girl. Yes. Let them
That's
animals.
primarily what he did the entire time. So he and I got along great. I was able to watch the summit, and it really turned out well. I got a 5-star rating. In last week's live with you, I had shared in the comments that I had broke something
Broke
in the
something. Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, I broke something, a vase, a little. She had a little tiny vase in the bathroom that I hit by accident and broke. And since I knew the area, and so I would just ordered something in town and replaced it. And then another thing actually broke too. I opened up the refrigerator and a jar of jam fell.
Oh,
So I had to clean that up. But I couldn't find it in town to replace it, and so I ordered it on Amazon and had it delivered to them the following week. So accidents happen.
yes.
Uh, People are clumsy. I'm clumsy, and
That's right.
but it really went well.
Good. That's right. Accidents happen. You're living in that house just like they are, right? They break,
Yeah,
you break things. That's why sometimes people will have a special place locked up, a closet or a room locked. And they'll be like, I'm so sorry, but I have to. I'm like, don't apologize. You listen, actually put more stuff in there, right? Put more stuff. That way I don't have to think about it. Nobody's got to come back and ask me if I saw it. Did you, right? Sometimes it's like, especially in the DC area, a lot of people have a work computer and, a whole off, they'll close off a whole room, right? I'm like, no, do it. Lock it up, right? That's one
yeah,
more thing I don't have to worry about. Oops, am I allowed to eat this? Or oops, did I break this? Or, right? Lock it all up.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So sits that I'm looking for now, because I only did that one, but the sits that I look for now, and I read the description very well, is those who have fenced in yards, and also mention putting them out in the yard is good, because I never know when the situation will flare up for me. So it's easier for me to look for those. But the way these flights are looking nowadays, I want to get out and about, but these airline tickets are going to have to come down a little bit more.
Girl. Yes. This is not a good time to be wanting to fly places. So do
Right.
you like cats? Can you cat sit? Because cats is
I wouldn't be around a cat or a bird to
no.
save
Okay.
my life.
Okay.
No, no. So primarily dogs. If I can get that, now what I will spend money on is that fish sit in Hawaii. If that pops back up, I'm gonna go ahead and grab that one,
That koi, the one with the
that
koi
koi
fish.
one. Yeah,
Girl, yes, yeah. You set an alert. Set an alert. Seriously, you have to be the first person. I'm pretty sure. You got to be the
absolutely.
first person to see that house sit pop up. Yeah,
Yeah, because
yeah.
he was
So
talking about 2 months there. Oh yes, I'll do that. I work remote anyway, so that'll work.
good, good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Good. Yeah. So about mobility, I think I don't remember honestly if Trusted House Sitters has anything. You can filter things. I don't think there's anything right now about mobility.
There isn't.
But it's something that we should mention to them at some point because a lot of their sitters are seniors. Sometimes it can look like a sit for someone who has some mobility issues, but then you get there and you got to climb up 2 flights of steps to get in the house, right? Like
Right.
it's a cat and they have a little cat patio and everything looks perfect. but then then you don't know that there's, 2 flights of steps to get up or something. So that would be a
I would,
wonderful them to add on to the platform.
it would be. I was almost hesitant to even take that because they live in a really nice neighborhood in the city, which means that it was kind of like built in older times, and so the flight up the steps was off the hook. But once me and the dog got upstairs, we were upstairs for the night.
Okay.
So we did it one time and one time only.
Okay. Good. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. Yeah, yes, right. So sometimes we do need to create some like workarounds or some, some solutions, but this doesn't mean that this excludes you. House sitting,
Right.
most house sitters are senior citizens. Most house sitters are older
Mhm.
than us, right? And so if they can get out here and do it, they're making some adjustments or right, getting some things figured out before they book a house sit, but they're still
Mhm.
out here house sitting and seeing the world, and we can do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I brought that up for anybody who was in the chat who like, "Oh, I wish I could." You can too.
Thank you so much. Yeah, yeah. I'm so glad you brought that up. Something I've not mentioned ever. But yeah, so one more time, sometimes people will have a dog walker, right? It just because
Mhm.
they have a dog that needs to be walked doesn't necessarily mean this isn't a sit for you. You can ask it's just a question, right? Is there a dog walker who comes? Right? Problem solved. Thank you so much, Celeste.
All right, dear. Take care.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for waiting so long. Thank you. I
No,
appreciate
no
it.
problem.
Bye. We lost, was it Julie? I think we lost our final person. If you want to pop back on, Julie, you can. I think it was Julie. If you want to pop back on, you can. I just want to do a quick recap and then I think I'll let y'all go. Um, Basically what we learned is that house sitting is for you. Okay, what we learned is that there are women out here house sitting with children, even children or grandchildren, right? Adult children or grandchildren or spouses. No one today house sat with a pet, but women are out here house sitting with their pets, taking their pets on house sits. It's all a conversation, right? It's all a conversation with the client that you want to house sit for. We learned that women are doing a lot of the women here did a local house sit and then did some other more unlocal house sits. But then some did not, right? Some were like, we're going to Seattle. And then we learned that the clients that we're house sitting for, they're good people, right? Right now, house sitting is small enough, niche enough, quiet enough that you're getting good clients when you house sit. It's not mainstream yet. We're not getting mainstream people. We're getting people who love to travel, who love to have guests in their home, who love their pets, um, and who are good, who are into hospitality even. You're going to get good hospitality as a house sitter now compared to what I'm getting as an Airbnb guest, right? Because I'm in an Airbnb right now where the wine, you can see a wine fridge. Can you see the little wine fridge? And you can see the coffee station. That ain't free. If I open up that coffee, I think the coffee is $12, and in that wine fridge, there's 3 bottles of wine. They're between $13 and $16. Okay, many a house sit has given me a free bottle of wine. Okay, so hospitality, house sitting go hand in hand. Let's bring on Kat. We'll bring on Kat and we'll close things out. Hello, Kat.
Um,
You're on the air. We can
sorry.
hear you. No,
I
it's
did
okay.
it.
If you're not ready, you good to go?
No, I'm ready. Where am I? Where
Well,
am I?
do you see? Let's see. On Ecamm Live, I don't know, girl. I don't know how you see yourself.
Well,
Do you need to hit
what?
Alt Tab a few times or Command Tab until you get to the right screen? Because you're on the screen.
I am?
Yeah,
Oh,
you're on the.
okay. Okay.
We did it.
I couldn't see anything.
Good
Hi
afternoon.
there.
Well, I'll say good afternoon. Where are you? Hi, Kat.
I'm in DC.
DC. Okay, good afternoon. How's things?
Things are good. I've been wanting to house sit for a bit, but life is just keeping me busy. But yeah, I did my first house sit in DC, like not this recent Thanksgiving, but 2 Thanksgivings ago, um, for a dog and a cat. It was local, and it was really sweet. It was just very sweet. The dog was a three-legged dog, so I took her for walks, but she was like, "Boop, badoop." She was more like a badoop, badoop dog. So we didn't have long walks, and it was cold out, so that was nice.
Good.
And the cat was very independent. Was a doggy door, and there's like a doggy
Yes.
door and a cat door. They would sit by that back door and wait for me to open the first door so they could go out there. And it was just a beautiful house, really quiet and calm. And they had like a Roomba that would like clean up the dog fur.
Oh.
And yeah, and a really nice kitchen. So I, cooked a little bit, and they had great pantry that I was raiding for like little bits. And yeah, it was just really quiet and nice. And I got a lot of reading done, and just, yeah. There was one incident where either the dog or the cat brought like a headless squirrel and set it right at the dog door, like outside the house, but right there. And I was like, what is that thing? And I was like, oh no, no. It was it was so disgusting. And I was responsible for cleaning it up because I thought if they get their little like mouths on it, they're going to bring it into the house.
They'll bring it
So,
in.
so I had to I just texted the owners and I was like, do you have a shovel? And so I got a shovel and I put it into into the garbage.
This is a cat thing, right? If the cat can get outside, well, I don't know. The dog could have done that though if it was a squirrel. But if the cat in particular, if the cat can get outside, the cat may very well bring you some dead animals. That's the thing about cats. They may bring you some dead animals just for fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's the little welcome gift.
Yeah. I don't know which of them did that, but
yeah, they might have to team up on that.
right? Yeah. So that was my first one.
Good. I love treating house sits like a little retreat or a little, it's a special time. It's not an everyday day, right? It's a special time, and I get to reorganize my schedule and my day and make it into a little retreat for myself.
It was. And the cool thing is they had kids, and one of their kids was, I think, a junior in high school. And they had all these apply to college books. And I was about to get onto that conveyor belt of getting your kid applying to colleges. So I was like reading all those books. I was like, ooh, let me take some notes, and reading the books, taking notes. Those thick books that you have to they cost a lot of money. So I was like, ooh, this is saving me money right here.
That's nice. That's good.
Mm-hmm. So my second sit was in Porto in the last summer. And I sat with a big dog named Rodney, and he was beautiful and so sweet. Very sweet dog. Very sweet dog. Yeah, it was nice. I stayed in an apartment in Porto. It wasn't really a cute apartment, but it was spacious and fine. And yeah, Rodney and I hung out, and I brought my work laptop, and I just treated it like a regular, kind of like a regular day. Although I had I had the mornings where I could take, breakfast or brunch, and then I'd start my work at noon, I guess, because the time difference. So I would work from noon to 7 or 8. And then I'd go out.
Good. Yeah, Porto is in Portugal, friends. So did you find that house sitting, like taking care of a dog and working, was that too much? Was it fine?
No, it wasn't. He was such a great companion. He would sit at my feet while I was working, and it gave me an excuse to go out and take a walk. It was a really hot summer there, so we would go in the morning and the evening for our longer walks. And then in the middle of the day, it was just like a quickie, potty break for him.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. But I'm looking every day. I'm on the app, looking for sits for the summer.
Okay. Do you have a list of places you want to go, or are you just open?
I'm pretty open. I would go to Quebec. I would go to Mexico. I would go to Iceland, Sweden, Portugal, France, Italy, Croatia. Yeah.
I think Canada is probably out of that list, Canada is probably the easiest. I mean, the most, I don't mean easiest, but the most abundant. You're probably going to find more.
Yeah, there are not that many in Quebec. They go kind of quickly.
Okay.
Like, especially in Montreal, they're like boom, boom, boom. So
Okay.
I have to hop on them. Yeah.
Okay. All right. You'll get something great. Or something
Yeah.
or something's great. Do you want to do one big one, or are you okay with several smaller house
I'm
sitters?
okay. I'm open. I'm open.
Good. Okay,
I just
good.
be ready to travel again.
Right. That's right. And your work lets you be where you want to be.
More or less. I mean, I tell them where I'm going to be, and if they squawk,
They'll have to figure something out.
yeah, yeah.
Good. All right. Kat, for some of you, this is your first time seeing Kat in her hammock. I'm used to it. It didn't. When I said, "Where are you?" As soon as I said, "Where are you?" I'm like, you know where she is.
Yeah.
Although you took I think you've taken the hammock other places because I'm pretty sure you had the hammock. Did you have the hammock in Europe? In Portugal?
No, and I asked them, "Do you have a place for me to hang the hammock?" And they were like, "No," so I didn't bring it.
Okay, I saw it. I think you had it with you somewhere, or maybe you were home and I just thought.
I bring it whenever I can. Like if I will ask, "Do you have a couple of trees, or do you have like a place on your patio?" And if they say maybe, I bring it.
That's right.
It's a happy place.
That's right. That's right. Bring your things with you, right? Travel around with them. We've talked, Adelia's talked a lot lately about not saving things for special occasions. Use them all the time. Use them now. We don't need to wait until it's 80 degrees outside to pull out our hammocks. All right, I'm
Right.
scrolling real quick to see some last questions that we did not answer. But I don't know. I feel like between the I don't know how many of us there were, 6, 7, 8 of us. I think we answered a lot of the questions that anybody could have. So I'm
Mm.
looking real quick.
I should mention that the dog did sleep on the bed with me. He was very large. He snored a little bit, but probably not as much as, just like we both snore probably. And he took up a lot of room.
Yeah,
I would be like, Rodney, Rodney.
I don't know
I
how
miss him. He was sweet.
this is. If I was a different person, right? My crusade, instead of being black women helping black women do less, right? My crusade would be about getting people's pets out of the beds because
Aw.
that pet is resting. You're not resting. I've house sat for people whose pets get up and need a potty break at 1 a.m.
Uh-uh.
every day. Every day at 1
Mm-mm.
a.m. She sleeps with us and we take her to the potty at 1 a.m. I'll do the house sit, right? You got a pool, I'm doing it, okay? Right?
Yeah.
But I don't care because I can have interrupted sleep and still take a nap and have a wonderful day, right? But you go to work, you're not resting with these big old pets and they do snore. Even the cutest little small, they snore, they move around. I wish that people would give themselves the gift of putting them pets in their own beds. You need some sleep, just like, oh, anyway, that is my,
Yeah. She was apologizing, the person, the woman I was dog sitting for. She's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry he's taking up the room." I was like, "But I like it. It's
I like,
nice.
I like it.
Easy."
And I booked those house sits. I like it, but I'm only there for a few weeks, right?
Mhm.
Those people sleep like that for years. They sleep interrupted for years, right?
I know.
Anyway, I promise you that would be my crusade. If I was a different person, I would go around the world telling people I would be the Marie Kondo of getting your pets out of the bed. It's great. I mean, I really love it. I really love it for short periods of time. I mean, it's just nice. As a person who sleeps on the edge of the bed anyway, I don't take up. I sleep. I'm a really funny sleeper. I sleep on the edge of the bed anyway. It's nice to have a pet and the dog in the bed, and they're so soft, and and they cuddle, and then they don't cuddle, and they right, but not every day. for for four, 14, 18, 22 years, y'all need some solitary sleep.
It is a lot.
All right. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Kat. Thank you so much for coming in, for closing us out, and
Yeah.
for talking to us about your house sitting experiences. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day.
You too.
Thanks. Bye. Okay, guys. I think we did it. Okay. So we've talked about house sitting. I've dropped a couple of times my link to the Trusted House Sitters to get your Trusted House Sitters membership, okay? This is the link to get your membership to Trusted House Sitters if you're just ready to go. I'll link to that here and in the description of this video. And then also I'm going to link to my new house sitter toolkit, which is just some things that I think that you could use to be comfortable on house sits. First, it includes the letter, that email template that is wonderful, that gets you booked for house sits. But the email template sounds like me, so you want to make it sound like you, right? This is just a template for an email that just explains the kinds of things you want to put in your email. Make your own, right? Take my email template and then make it your own. Copy that, save it somewhere. And then when you're ready to apply for house sits, just copy and paste and add in the things that you need. You know, you're always going to need to put in their names, their pets' names, their city, the dates, you know. But you'll have your own template once you use my template. Okay, so I hope that you'll do that. And I hope that you'll get house sitting. I'm not kidding when I tell you, I'm going to sit down a little bit and cry a little bit. It's been wonderful to see how women are using house sitting, to meet their needs, right? To spend time with family members, to spend time away from family members, which I totally understand and do myself, right? To see other parts of the world or to get some quiet time right in their own city. I love the way you, friends, have made house sitting yours. It's for you. So use it for you. Make it yours. Do what you need to do to get the things that you need to get. And house sitting, as we talked about, is a domino. So be prepared for other things in your life to fall. Once the house sitting domino falls, even if it's just a house sit on vacation, be prepared for you to start thinking about other things the same way. But don't be scared, okay? Don't be too nervous about that. Start with the house sitting. Enjoy the house sitting. And use it for yourself. There are people out here doing things in the world and presenting themselves as if they just either are lucky or something, and no, like they're house sitting, right? Like there are people out here in the world present, oh, this is my house. It's not their house. They're house sitting. Or this is my vacation villa. I mean, it's free. They're house sitting. They paid $200 to be able to stay in that villa, right? There are people who are out here doing things and making you think that you have to do it the hard way, right? There are people presenting themselves in a way and then saying, okay, you have to do it the hard way. No, just do it the easy way. Get a house sit, right? It's like a wig, right? You could spend hours and hours on your hair, or you could slap on a wig. Slap on a wig sometimes. Give yourself the easiest solution. The easiest solution for me, for travel, for accommodation is house sitting. I love it. I do it. I spread the word. I'm doing a good job of spreading the word, I gotta say. I spread the word, and I want you to take this on and do this for yourself, right? Bring it into your life in a way that fits your needs. Okay? All right, so everything that I've linked to is linked in the description of this video. So I think we're gonna end it. Next week we have a special guest. Next week I will be in Reclaim the Retreat, and we have a special guest. Remember when Tosh came on and was our special guest? We have a new special guest coming on next week. I should probably tell you. Alicia, if you're still here. Alicia, are you here still? Alicia Renice is our special guest, and she's going to do some special things. So Alicia Renice is a musician and a creator, just a creator. I shouldn't say only a musician as in she does one thing, but she's a creator. And she's going to spend some time here with us next week. I'm going to read her words because I don't want to make up what she's doing, right? She's going to spend some time next week talking about fun, about play and creativity, right? Fun, play, creativity. She said her words, this is a matter of life and death, right? We need it. We need these things in our lives to fully live. And so she's going to come and do some play with us. She's going to talk about play, and she's going to do some playing live on YouTube, 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern time. What I hope that some of you will do is set up your own PlayStation on Saturday. I hope that some of you will set up sometime on Saturday where you can play. I don't care what it is. It's a puzzle, it's some music, it's a song that you're going to write and make up, right? I don't care what it is. I hope that you will set up Saturday morning and have your own PlayStation along with Alicia. So there'll be some time for her to talk and you guys will be in the chat, but I hope there'll also be a chance for you to stop and play with her. Play while she's playing, co-play. I hope that is what will happen. I hope that you will create Saturday morning a space and time for some joy, not for some joy, to prioritize joy, to make joy the point. That's the point. Joy is the point. Okay? And so I hope Saturday you'll do that. You'll be here with Alicia, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Pacific Time, and make play the point for Saturday. Um, she'll be here in the chat. It'll be a combination of that. I think you'll if you already subscribe to Alicia's channel, you know that she's done some videos where she talks and then she does some playing and she does make some music and then she talks and then she makes some music. So that it may look like that, it may look like something else. However, things are flowing, but I hope that you will also right now put on your calendar a little time before 10 a.m. to get your little PlayStation set up, right? So maybe 9:30, you stop what you're doing and you set up your own PlayStation. Maybe you set up an easel and some paints. Maybe you pull out the keyboard. Maybe you pull out a puzzle and do some playing along with Alicia. Okay, I can't wait for it. I'll be watching the replay. I won't be there, but I'll be watching the replay, and I can't wait for that. Okay. Okay, now I think we've done everything we needed to do. Thank you so much again, as always. Thank you so much for being here and for participating in this chat and for being so good to each other, so good to my guests. I know we didn't get to a lot of a lot of talk to you in the chat, but their information was so good that we didn't have to stop to answer a whole lot of questions. But thank you for being here to answer the questions that we didn't get to. All right. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you again very soon. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye, friends. Bye, guys.